NUFC Early Night News with Gary DeJordy Yum Yum, Andrew Bokey, Christina Cage, and Derek the Mighty Wind. Weekdays from 8 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. USA. NUFC Talk.
Here we go. Welcome to NUFC Talk, the early night show. I'm your host, Tim, and with me tonight is Christina Cage, Bokey, and Ian Super Mackay. How are you doing? All is all right?
All good for me. And you, the rest of you, look as if you're doing really well as well. You gorgeous people.
I think we are.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, we are live on YouTube, also live on the website, nufcradio.com. So please give us a like and support the channel. It does help a lot. Keep the comments coming and give us a super chat as well if you want to guarantee your comment being read out. And if you can, become a member for $4.99 a month, where you'll gain access to exclusive content. Okay, so yeah, there's been a lot of talk, hasn't there, recently around the news to do with the stadium, obviously Leazes Terrace, and it's all been very interesting. I know you spoke about it last night. You were on the show, Borky. So I wanna get into that as well. I know obviously the late night crew will speak about it as well. There's different areas with this because there's the Leazes Terrace. There's obviously the stadium decision as to in terms of whether to stay or go. And there's also the latest developments with the current stadium and the upgrades. And it has been announced that they are putting in a new pitch at St James's Park. They're going to level off the pitch. The slope will still be there, the iconic slope towards the Gallagher end. So it'll be there, just won't be quite as steep. And they are putting in, new screens, I think, on one side of the stadium. And they're also adding safe standing to level 7 next to the away fans, I believe. I'm assuming. I don't think it'll be the family section, so I'll be wrong. But that's interesting. That is interesting because that takes me back to the old days when I used to be up there and we used to stand anyway, and it was absolutely brilliant atmosphere. So,
Tim, sorry to interrupt, Tim. I'm sure I have already stood in safe standing in section 7 next to the away fans.
The reason for that, that's probably because the away fans probably didn't sell out their allocation, so we would have moved along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And they're in safe standing up there anyway, are they?
Yes.
Right. Got you.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye. So I don't know how far along it'll extend.
I'm not quite sure how much the safe stand will be at St James's if there's lightning up there.
It's all right, you're above the clouds.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah, we're fans of being out so far, so but I think, ideally it would be further down, like at the Gallagher ends and further along where the Strawberry Corner is, ideally. But there's probably more pushback with that because there's more season ticket holders down there, whereas I think there's less up in level 7, so maybe that's the reason why. But as long as it's going into the ground, I think that can only help the atmosphere and the banter with the away fans. But yeah, I'll start with you, Christina. There's a lot to get into. I've got a few points to go through, kind of step by step. But what are your thoughts on the whole St James's Park situation, the upgrades at the moment to the stadium, and also the recent news?
The upgrades are good because even if we do have plans for whatever's going to happen with the stadium in the future, and I know there was some developments on that in regards to plans are now getting drawn up, or they've got a plot of land now, but that's still going to take a long time before we actually see that happen. Even if you started building it now, it's still not going to be ready for the start of next season, is it? So and I know that they've got under pitch heating, which to be fair in Newcastle you probably need on a normal July Saturday game, to be fair. So it's good to see that everything's being invested in and that we're getting fancy new things. I don't really know what safe standing is, to be honest. I don't know. Up until about 3 minutes ago, I didn't realise that there was a chance that away supporters weren't given seats. Is that what that means?
Well, it's what it is. It's like the kind of guardrails that go along the seats. The seats are there, so you have the option of sitting down, but
Okay.
you also have the option of standing, and you've got that support in front of you, that bar in front of you, and it's, I think anyway, exactly what Germany have had in a lot of their stadiums for the last 20 years or so. And obviously with
Okay.
Hillsborough over here, there was a lot of resistance towards us doing that, but it is, it's called safe standing for a reason, because it's been calculated. Therefore, there shouldn't be any crush that obviously caused Hillsborough. So yeah, it's there for the away fans. A lot of clubs in the Premier League have slowly started putting this into different areas in their grounds. It is obviously to help with the atmosphere, and it is at St James's Park, and the Strawberry Corner has been for the last few years. But if we can get it up higher in the level 7 next to the away fans, I think it can just encourage, for me, more of that tribal banter, between the away fans and the home fans. And just on the other developments with the pitch, it's called a sub-air system. And I'm just reading something here. So it's an elite underground turf management system installed in major football stadiums worldwide. It actively controls root zone moisture and temperature, draining water up to 30 times faster than passive methods, and pushing oxygen into the grass to ensure the roots are optimal pitch firmness and rapid recovery as well. So it's state of the art stuff. What do you think, Borty? Any thoughts on the developments to St James's Park as it is right now?
Sorry, mate. Yeah, I think it's all good news. I think it sort of shows that they're looking to develop St James's Park. So it's like the sound system that's getting done, the lighting and stuff. So it means St James's Park can be done used for other things as well. I mean, if you think from now till the start of next season, really, the Cathedral on the Hill is just an echo on the hill, isn't it? There's nothing really goes on in there. So if you can get a couple of pop concerts in there, if you can, get the stadium up to a standard where you can do, as I say, other sports in there, it's going to boost your money absolutely massively. So it's all good news. It's all brilliant news if we're updating the stadium, so it can, as I say, firstly it works for the football, and then it works for the commercial side of it as well. So hopefully we'll see Elton John or Barry Manilow there or something for me, so I can go up and have a listen to them.
To be fair, I think we discussed this, didn't we? Favourite pop bands and stuff, and I don't go to concerts really. But I do enjoy Muse. I enjoy who was it? Somebody else said Linkin Park. Aye. So no, it'd be quality. Like if we can get these bands up there. I mean the whole lighting system as well. I know that they've talked about pre-match displays, and with the whole light show, pre-match. Ian, what do you make of all that? I mean, we've seen it with other grounds where they have this display before the teams come out. Is that a bit too much? Is that like not traditionally English, if you like, or are you up for that sort of stuff?
You've got the proof of the pudding is in what they turn up and do. But if it's half a dozen gas tanks firing flames into the air, then that's a bit meh. What in the winter games we want Cellar to have some of those fantastic displays that they did with drones and things. I mean, something like that would be really, really special. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think it depends how
suppose
you
it's
do it.
dragging us into the 21st century, because there's not been any improvement in the ground since Freddie Shepherd and John Hall got to work, really, has there? I mean, it's been ludicrous that you've got to be. There's only about a quarter of the ground that can actually watch the screen at the minute. If you're in the East Stand, you need a really elaborate arrangement with somebody who's sitting in the middle with a large mirror to be able to see where the screen is, let alone watch anything on it. So there's some good things there. I would say safe standing in floor 7, though. By the time I, as an elderly gentleman who's smoked for 50 years, have got up into the 7th floor, I need to lie down. I don't want to stand for the rest of the night. But it does help with. There's no choice, by the way, if you do get up there. As I said, I've been in a couple of times when it's been sort of when we've been in the tickets that have been returned. It's been safe standing. You cannot decide I'm just going to sit down here because you just sit and look at everybody's arse. Then you've got to stand up to see the game, and it does make for a better atmosphere. Everybody is more willing to sing and move and clap and look across to the opposition fans with hand gestures and all that sort of thing goes on, which is always it's all good for a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, I think it's
definitely.
good. I think it's
I
good
think
that
it
we can spend
depends.
some money on it. And I think they've got to be careful though. Apparently, that pitch, they've redone the grass, but they've never ever relaid the pitch for 20 years. And our pitch is actually award winning. The guys who do that are it's regarded as one of the best pitches in the Premier League.
Mm.
So they've got to be careful they don't spoil what they've already got. But I guess, they must be able to improve it after 20 years. They're all of the, as you say, state of the art technology wasn't state of the art 20 years ago when it was all installed. So they must be able to do something good with that.
True. Brian says, stop the tabs, by the way. Ian.
Brian, I'm going to stop. I will stop eventually because I'll be dead.
I think
Go
with
on, Bucky.
with the stadium as well. If you look at Man City when they, I don't know if they still do it actually because I haven't seen them for a while. But when they go into the Champions League games of a night time and they do the lights flash like playing light stadium going across, playing Blue Moon, that's like a bit of theatre and a bit of class that gets the fans up. So if we do something like that, but playing like say you start with like the Blade Races or something or a Geordie song, and you do something with the lights to sort of bring that into sort of focus for the fans. I think that with the flags going as well and stuff like that could be
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. That could just help make an absolutely amazing atmosphere.
I think that's the key thing, Bucky, that if they do something like that, it is specific to Newcastle and it's not like a generic song or whatever they're doing. I
Yeah.
think if they can like pay tribute to the Blade Races or whatever it is with Newcastle, I can accept that more. I am old school in that I'm kind of more about, look, it's about the atmosphere and it's up to us fans to make it. We don't have to rely on light shows. But to be fair, like you say, if it's done in a classy way that's to do specifically with us, then I think that could pump people up, couldn't it? Pretty much. What are your
What you,
thoughts,
what you
Christy?
don't what
Go
you
on.
don't want is
Let's
Hey
not.
Jude, isn't it?
Let's
Go on.
not.
What is it again?
You don't want Hey Jude, do you? That's got absolutely
It,
nothing to
it,
do
it
with
is
it, is
tiresome
it?
now, isn't it? I know it is
Yeah.
tiresome. Go on, Ian.
I was going to say let's not elbow out the guys in war flags though. I mean they
Oh
have
no.
come up trumps week after week after week with something unique and tailored for that Newcastle crowd. I mean,
Yeah.
any light show is going to have to be really, really good to match how they can whip the crowd into a frenzy before a game.
No,
So,
definitely.
I mean, I don't know if they end up coordinating it. That's asking volunteers to really get involved, isn't it?
Well, I think they would. I
But
wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised because they've got a good relationship. I think having the by all accounts and the club have been really, really good with war flags. What are you're going to say something, Christina? What are your thoughts?
I, I wasn't actually going to say anything, but yeah,
Oh,
my thoughts in regards to that is that both of them would work like quite well hand in hand. I mean, War Flags is fantastic, but a little bit of like music and pyro and a little bit of a light show to go ahead to like go along with that. And I mean, I think there were certain games where War Flags probably did better than any of the other Premier League teams who have got like this whole entrance thing set up for themselves. I think War Flags on occasions has done much better with just what they do than we've seen elsewhere. So anything that doesn't try to overshadow that but kind of works alongside it's got to be a positive, really.
Aye, I totally agree. Totally agree. If it's in conjunction with war flags, and that'll be spot on. That and like I say, if it's light show, celebrating our history, if you like, and it's kind of saying like this is who we are, this is what we've done. It all ties in, doesn't it? Just sometimes, I see these things, and like I say, it can be generic, and I want to stay away from that. What about the iconic slope, Tina? Are you going to be sad that's gone? Or it won't be gone, but it won't be as prominent?
I am a little bit disappointed to see them levelling that out, because it is kind of one of the things, isn't it? But to be fair, I mean, it's not as if our team have had any massive advantage with that this last season, so maybe it is time to kind of move on from that and make it so that playing home and away isn't such a big difference. But it's always been a bit of a meme and a joke, hasn't it, where second half will kick towards, I think it slopes down towards the Gallagher, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The second half play towards the Gallagher, and you've already ran for half a game, so then you've got the nice little downhill trip. But I guess on the flip side of that, it's harder for strikers to track back if they're always going uphill, so it might actually be better for things like cardio, for example. I mean, not that it should matter to a world-class international footballer, but it might help a little bit.
I just a quick super chat there from Wazza. Cheers, mate. Christina, so sweet and good enough to eat.
Thank you very much for the super chat, Wazza.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, so I think with the slope, it is kind of iconic in that, we always say, I mean, I do anyway, I'm like, at least we're shooting towards the Gallagher second half. You know what I mean? And it'd be interesting to know the stats on that, because lo and behold, we might not have scored as many goals at the Gallagher end. I don't know, but it is a psychological thing, isn't it? And I think if teams know about the slope, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to be penned in here. Again, it's psychological. It's a bit of a gimmick in one sense, but it is there, the slope. And to be fair, it's still going to be there to an extent. Are you bothered about the slope, Ian, or are you sad to see that thing be levelled out a bit?
I don't think we're training to be able to take advantage of the fact that it drops 3 feet. But I think it's been talked about, and we have got into a psychological thing that we kick into the Gallagher in the second half. That's when you come back from 3-1 against West Ham and win 4-3. But I think it was the other way around. Was it not the other way around when we came back and beat Leeds? Can't remember.
It was.
It was the other way around. So I'm like you. If we end up kicking to the Gallagher in the first half, I'm thinking we must have lost the toss. But so what? It doesn't really make that much difference, does it? We've scored plenty of goals kicking to the Leazes as well. But I would like to preserve it. I mean, it's something that makes St James's Park unique. Of course, once we're in our new stadium, presumably they're not going to build a 3-foot drop in the pitch there. So, it's going anyway, isn't it?
Has it always had the slope, Ian?
Yeah.
Like when you go back over the years, like as a younger fan, but did it still have the slope then?
There was always a slope towards the Gallagher, which is where we've always wanted to kick towards the Gallagher in the second half from when I first started going. And I'm sure I remember when John Hall was redevelopment all that time, when it got redone, they were very specific about keeping the 3-foot drop. It's great. It's amazing because if you actually sit there, you don't notice really when they're playing. But if you sit and follow the pitch down to the advertising boards, it's a 3-foot drop.
It's a hell of a drop,
over 100 yards, which is amazing. But yeah, I don't think it makes a lot of. It's not like it's a hill where the ball's always running out for a goal kick before the opposition can get their crossing or anything. It's not that severe, is it? So but it's one of our unique sort of things to the ground, which is part of our folklore.
I was saying earlier in the week that we go on about sort of the historic thing of St James's Park, but there's a lot of the ground isn't historic. We think it is as being. We think of the cathedral on the hill, but I said earlier in the week, obviously, when I was little, you couldn't really see the stadium from as many places as you can now because it got built up so big. The Gallagher bus station used to block most of it at some points.
It's true. It's true.
It's sort of. We'll look at it as in we'll love this the stadium because of the historic value of it, but there's not actually much of it that historic. It doesn't go back till the start of the club or anything like that. It's maybe the big part of it probably goes back 20, 30 years maximum.
When I was first going, I would walk up a lot of stairs past some particularly stinking open roof urinals to get to the very top of the Gallagher and then drop back down again to watch the match. But there was no roof or any back or
Yeah,
anything on it. So that couldn't possibly have stuck up above anything. So you're right. I think it was when they put the Milburn stand and built all of that up. That's when you could start seeing it from the other side of the water, see it from everywhere. I mean,
yeah,
I used to live in Wickham, and you could stand and look out over where the metro centre is, and you could see the floodlights and everything. In fact, you could open the windows and hear when Newcastle scored from there at those days. But yeah, it's very different. And it's the big chat that me and Kev had when we first got to know each other, and I was wanted a new ground because I've got a chance of a season ticket, and he doesn't want to go anywhere other than St James's Park. You've got to stay there. That's because he only knows that St James's Park. But me and Win have been
yeah.
through two or three different versions of that, and yeah, we are at a much better version of it than we ever had as younger guys. But that it's progression to get to the next one when you've got a 70,000 seater instead of a 52,000 seater, and everything is built for the comfort of the fans instead of feeling like you're almost being herded in. I mean, it used to be that you were just sort of forced up these stairs and forced in like cattle. Get as many people in as you possibly can. You used to try and get in and stand in front of some of the crash barriers so that you didn't end up crushed and winded at the bottom of the Gallagher end every time we scored. So a huge surge of people would come forward on that. I'm
I
quite lucky
think
to be
one thing to
alive, to be
remember
honest.
is, yeah, I think this is one thing to remember is this is a once in a lifetime, probably, well, once in a generation, sorry, chance to redevelop, either redevelop or get a new stadium. And
Yeah,
what I don't want to do is go down because of sentimental value sort of thing. Just think, oh, we've got to stay at St James's, as you're saying. We've got to develop as a club, and personally, I think now after looking at it, because of what the restrictions you've got with St James's, probably is easier just to build a new stadium. And I know people will hate that, but it's the progression of the club.
I'll come on to
but
that. Paul, you got a quick super
Yeah,
chat there before we'll continue from Wazza. Appreciate that again, mate. Does that mean Votamata is 9'6" and still heads? So I think you're on about the slope, aren't you, mate? Yeah. Uh, Imagine we built it downwards. We built the slope downwards and made it even more. I don't know what the Premier League would think
they
about
are
that.
got they're dropping it. They're dropping down 3 feet apparently.
The other end, aren't they? See the end, so
Yeah, so
yeah, it levels out
the
to an
crowd are
extent.
looking. Everyone gets a slightly better view if the pitch is slightly lower down.
Yeah, yeah. No, true. It'll
Um,
be interesting to see what the Leazes end looks like.
but
It'll
this
just be
is
minimal,
just
obviously.
to bring in what we had yesterday when they bought all of Leazes Terrace and everything, and wondering what the hell are you going to do? Is that because we're staying at the ground? And it's
Mm,
not. It's because their plan is that when you're talking about a generational development, if that is redeveloped and restored to its full glory with new attractions, businesses, hotels
mm,
on a sort of a Wembley way up to the new St James's Park, an absolutely fantastic addition to the city centre, and it'll
yeah,
attract people in you know just to see it, not on match day or anything. It'll be a proper entertainment centre for gigs. The rugby people will come and use it. We'll be on all of we'll be attracting European finals, etc., etc.
mm,
So I think it's their plans are not to pull Leazes Terrace down and expand St James's Park. They've now got a huge chunk of the estate that will be the centerpiece as we go up to this fantastic
yeah.
new stadium. I'm really excited by it.
Well,
I
I
got to
want to
get on with it
compare the
though
two
because
options. Yeah, yeah.
me and Win want to see it built.
Mhm. I want to compare the two options that are available, and just want to quickly say about St James's Park and kind of the option of staying there and what that brings. And I do agree with you, Borky, in that you can't just be sentimental. You have to use your head as well as your heart. I would just say as well that there is an element of it where I think because these stadiums are so iconic, you think of Anfield, Old Trafford. I know they might be moving themselves, but and obviously St James's Park. A lot of players, like if the team is playing well, let's say Anfield, for example, a lot of players are beaten in the tunnel before they go out. And I think that is partly because of the history of the ground. And I know it's not the same ground, like you say, Borky, because there's been so many changes. You know, we're not wedded to the same building, if you like, but it's more the history of the location. And I think that aura that it brings, let's say Anfield, like I say, if Liverpool are playing well, that team, the away team, a lot of players are beaten before they go out. And that is worth points. And obviously, points is worth money. So I think there's an element of that to kind of consider if you were to build up St James's Park. Um, I mean, there's something. There's another thing that is really appealing to me that I'll come on to, but we're just talking about this side for now. That's something that I was thinking about yesterday, but I've also got a picture, and just to kind of entertain this for the moment, because I know you said, Ian, there that obviously Leazes Terrace could be used as a walk up to the new stadium. But this is an interesting image because it was talked about, I know, on last night's show about building back onto Leazes Terrace if you extended the east stands. And I've seen this online, and obviously it's a AI image, and it's obviously the east stand built up going over onto Leazes Terrace. Christina, what do you make of that?
I mean, it's pretty. And it looks pretty good. Like, I don't know which side's
Yeah,
hold
if
on.
you
It's the stadium on the right there, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks quite nice, you know. It goes with the aesthetics that we've already got. And I think basically, if you just kind of finished the stadium from where it is at the moment, there's clearly two stands that weren't built. If you finished off the rest of it, it would probably be a good enough stadium at that point. But I mean, at the same time, like, I know people are talking about history and prestige and stuff, but the history of and the prestige of St James's Park was ripped away years ago. Like, let's not forget, this isn't the same team that Kevin Keegan managed. This isn't the same team that Bobby Robson managed. This was the team that had Sports Direct written all over the pitch and had, you know, 2 relegations. So I don't feel as if there's that much built up to where we would have to stay at St James's Park. If we're going to, though, I mean, that looks pretty. Like, you know, I'd imagine a few drunken walks through there after a night out in town, getting back to, like, Leazes Park and stuff, could be quite enjoyable.
Christina, do you think that works though? If you know the one on the right is the old East Stand, then there's this thing that's going across the top, and presumably above, on top of Leazes Terrace, there's another tier. I mean, how high do you have to go up to see over the existing East Stand to actually watch the match?
I know. To be fair, it's speculation.
That doesn't look right.
Yeah, it might not be feasible. I don't know. It's hypothetical. But yeah, I just thought I would share it because I came across it last night.
I think
would
the
be a
problem
bit
is, as I said
shabby.
it. Sorry, Christina.
No, I was just going to say it would be a bit shan for the people living there, though, that you're literally, like,
There'd be nobody
walking
living
out
there
the
at that
sun.
point. There'd be nobody
Like,
living there. Don't worry about that. They would have been taken out, and then this would obviously, it belongs to the club.
That's still a bit shan, but okay.
All of those extra office spaces that they've had to find in St James's Park could be in Leazes Terrace.
You get a flat Leazes Terrace instead of an office.
I think the
Jacob,
problem
come
with
to
this-
my flat.
I think the problem with this whole thing is that you're compromising by staying at St James's Park. No matter what option you take, you know, you're having to compromise in regards to what you want from the stadium. Whereas a purpose-built, brand new stadium, you get everything that you want, sort of thing. So I completely get why they're looking at staying at St James's, because, you know, everybody loves it and everybody loves the memories and the memories you've got from going there as a kid. But I also think that you need to think of it from a practical point of view, and, you know, it's going to cost probably a lot less to build a brand new stadium than it would to do something like that. because something like that's really, really difficult architectural wise. So I just think you've got to look at it from a practical point of view, and the heart says stay at St James's, the head says get a brand new purpose built stadium rather than a hybrid of what we've got at St James's at the minute.
I think you definitely get more for your pound if you're building from scratch and you've got a blank canvas almost, rather than trying to incorporate everything that's already there. Definitely.
I think the issue as well is obviously it is to be a multi-purpose venue, whether it's a new stadium or St James's. And if you were to stay at St James's, you would have to kind of revamp inside, wouldn't you? So that you could turn around to people in the world and say, yeah, this venue is a multi-purpose venue now, and it has world-class facilities inside to host these sorts of events. And whether or not they could do that, they probably could, gut it out if you like and redevelop it inside as well. But like you say, Ian and Borgie, I think no matter how hard they tried, it obviously wouldn't give you the scope to meet the levels that you could meet with a blank canvas and a new stadium. Don't get us wrong, you could probably do it to a level where maybe it is, top notch, but not as high a level as it would be with a new stadium. I think that's maybe the conundrum. And like you say, Borgie, I think the heart does say do that, but the head does say, you know what, like you say, Ian, more bang for your buck at a new stadium.
I think what you have to think of as well is the fans in the East Stand. What's going to happen with them if this is done? So, as a fan as well, you've got to look like this isn't going to be able to get done but in pre-season, so you're not going to end a season and have this work done. So there's going to be times where fans are going to have to be out to St James while this is getting done. So, if it's easier, it's a miles easier just to build a new stadium because you're not going to have the stadium already there because you're not going to affect the fans who are in the ground.
Go on, Ian.
I was going to. It's up on the first floor, isn't it? The way in. I was going to say it doesn't look like they've bothered putting any entrances down that east stand there anyway, but that's because you'll be up on the elevators on the first floor. I was going to say something else and I forgot what it was. It'll come back to us. Don't worry. Move on. Oh yeah, no. Last night, Wayne also had a mock-up of the concourse in a new stadium, which looked absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
with like almost a mall there with restaurants and bars and space. I mean, that's if you go into the Leazes end, for example, there's not a lot of space there. They've already compromised sort of the access that you've got. You're straight onto the pitch because they needed the roads around the back. So yeah, I think you just do get much more if you start from scratch.
We've got a super chat there from Wazza. Thanks again, mate. Really appreciate it. So we're not just managers now; we are architects. Exactly. We've got to put our.
We are all Bilky, Tim, and I, and Christina. We are Renaissance men and women.
Yep.
We do everything.
Exactly. Cheers.
You did again,
appreciate
Bilky.
it.
I probably know more about managing buildings than I do managing football clubs. So that's just one thing.
I mean, you're compromising this sport, aren't you? You've got to toe the party line with all this Leazes Terrace stuff.
After that, don't pull down grade one listed buildings.
Just on the record. Yeah, like you're on about the new stadium, Ian, and you're on about those images. I have got an image I'm going to put up, which is, I think, really interesting. It's not the concourses, and I have seen the one you're talking about. And I mean, again, look, I'm old school, but and maybe it's a bit tiresome in that regard in terms of you've got to get with the times. But I do look at some of these things and look at Spurs Stadium, and I've seen the inside of there, and I just think I don't want it too cosy. I don't want it to be like we're going to Metro Centre here for a nice shop around. We're going to a football game to a tribal event where we're going there to support the lads, and it's do or die, and we're playing our fiercest rivals, and we hate them, they hate us, sort of thing. So I don't want to take that away, that environment away, if you like. But I absolutely agree, Ian, in that it did look really good, and you've got to have the best of both. And yeah, the scope is there to do all that with a new stadium. And I've got
Oh,
this image. Go on, Ian.
I
How?
don't mean put carpet down or anything,
Yeah.
but I don't. To be honest, I turn up to watch the match and then I go. I'm not hanging around because at the minute I can choose from unless I go into corporate hospitality, of course, which is gorgeous. But as a normal match day fan turning up, I've got a choice of a burger or a hot dog, and I'm leaning against blank concrete. That's it.
Mm. Mm.
Before I have to
Yeah.
go and fight my way through to the front of the toilet before I wet myself.
Mm.
So we need more facilities than that. That
Yeah.
this is a throwback to those days I was talking about where we were just all herded in like cattle and made to get on, made to stand in the rain, and it was just because we were there. And I still loved it then as well, of course. But I think we're paying enough money to deserve a little bit more than that.
It's
And
happy medium, isn't it?
I'm not sure there's enough scope without starting to
Mm.
pull bits of St James's down to be able to put something like that in.
Tina, you going to say something? Or have I heard you in my head again?
Really? I think you might just have voices in your head. I didn't say anything. I was gonna say something a minute. I'm trying to make a joke a minute ago, but my mic was switched off. So then by the time I switched the mic back on, I was like, "Oh, the moment's passed," but I can't remember what it was. But no, I
I'm
mean,
hearing your thoughts.
what was I thinking? Because I never hear my thoughts. That's why I speak such absolute tripe at times.
I'll keep it to myself.
Oh no, right, there we go then. But like the thing is though, because obviously I haven't actually caught up on, because I've actually had quite a busy week, so I'm still a little bit behind on exactly what
Okay.
area we've bought or what we've now got that we can now develop on. So my thought is that it would probably, that wasn't even a Randy Orton reference. I don't know, what am I saying things that I'm not hearing? Is there another Tina? Because I will often make them. Oh, voices. Right, I get it. No, that Randy Orton reference. Fair point. But yeah, to me, it seems like all of these problems could be navigated around if we were just building a new stadium that didn't have to overlap the current stadium. And for the time being, just clearly bring in some more toilets for poor Ian. Because, I mean, by the sounds of it, y'all are getting done dirty like women are on nightclubs with these toilets in St James's Park. So maybe update that. Have a bit of a more modernised St James's Park while we're building the new stadium. Don't expand the current stadium. Don't build it over any buildings. Don't put any architecture in place. That's going to mean that we've got to have less fans at a game. And, have what we've got now. And fair enough, it does mean that people who are waiting a season ticket are going to have to wait a little bit longer maybe, or we're going to have to figure out how well this safe standing thing works out. But at least it gives us somewhere to play football while we're waiting for the new pitch to be built.
Yeah. No, I get that. And yeah, well, I've got a picture here. And I want to show this because Borky's tucking in, isn't he? So we'll have a look at this while Borky enjoys that. Let's have a look.
What picture's Borky enjoying?
Yep.
Is this even safe for YouTube anymore, lads? You're hearing voices inside my head. He's looking at pictures that he's enjoying while he's eating.
Right, I said he's enjoying his food. He's enjoying his food.
Oh, he's having food.
Yeah.
All right. My apologies, Borky.
I got the cord out.
Didn't mean to make
Your
that
mouth's,
sound more
your
sinister
mouth's
than it
burning
was.
because it's salt and pepper chicken.
Oh man, why are you eating chickens?
Oh God, you've said the wrong thing there, Borky. She's
I did, aye. Sorry, salt and pepper chips.
Oh right, yeah, salt and pepper chips are nice. They are quite spicy though.
Yeah.
right.
Moving on.
Can you see that? Right.
No.
So this.
Yes.
Can you see that? Yeah. So, and sorry, Tina, you were saying you weren't up on the latest, weren't you? So actually, let's just cover that
For
first.
where, because I know we've bought some sort of ground. We've done something where we're now allowed to develop somewhere where we weren't allowed to develop 2 days ago. Am I right in that?
Yeah. So if you look at this picture, right, and just imagine, this stadium here is taking the place of the current St James's Park, which I appreciate is not going to happen anyway. So just kind of ignore that from a realistic point of view. But this picture does actually show Leazes Terrace. So I'll just move it along here. So
Just a bit on the right, isn't it?
yeah,
Oh,
so this here. To be honest, I know it's not all of it we've bought, so I don't know exactly which part, but obviously along there is the main issue, isn't it? So I don't know if you, Ian,
We've
or
bought
Borky
all
know
of
specifically where.
we've
Well,
bought
that
all of
doesn't
that,
work at
Tim.
all because it's not in the same position as St James's Park. St James's Park is further towards us. If you zoom out a little bit, St James's Park doesn't start at Leazes Terrace. It starts further back where this back lane is. Sorry, I'm pointing on my screen. You guys can't see it. On the right hand side, if you're looking at it, with the bay trees going down, the stadium actually starts. If you zoom out to where the strawberry is, if you can, the stadium starts a lot earlier than that.
Yeah,
So that's
I mean,
still a brand new stadium.
I know,
So what's
I
the
know.
point in building it on
So-
top of the Leazes Terrace?
am I right in saying that those courts over to the right, that's where
Yeah.
the courts are currently in Leazes Park, yeah?
Yeah,
Because I've
Well,
been in
roughly
that
anyway.
park loads. I've seen those tennis courts. I've walked on those tennis courts. I have kissed boys on those tennis courts. I've also seen St James's Park. I've been in St James's Park. I walked past St James's Park. I've never once seen Leazes Terrace. However, how do I not know where that place is?
To be fair, where those tennis courts are is nowhere near where they want to build a new stadium. The new stadium would be further back in regards to the left of the pond that you can see on screen. So the
exactly. Built
tennis
there.
court, the tennis courts wouldn't be affected. So
Yeah.
any boys who want to kiss Tina can still head there.
You're good to go, Tina. Don't worry. With those activities, and
Tickets are on pre-sale tomorrow morning, and then open to the public to buy on Friday. And Tina will be
For
there
what?
to meet you on Saturday.
None of
That's
that's
it.
true, YouTube. Don't try to buy tickets.
And the good news is there's no waiting list.
Ah, Borky, why are you so mean? You've been back on the same show as us for less than 45 minutes and you're picking on me already?
I had to go for that one.
No, fair play. I left that wide open. I don't even know why I used that as the anecdote. I just, when I start talking, then I just kind of get into a flow and I'm like, I'm going to turn this into a wrestling promo. And then I say something, I'm like, why have I just said that?
I'm sure
Wish
you've
I
plenty of
hadn't just said
season
that.
ticket holders, Tina.
Plenty of what?
Season ticket holders.
Oh,
going
yeah,
forward.
absolutely.
Yeah.
One
So you see this,
Aston Villa as well in the UEFA Cup final.
Listen, I forgot they were playing. You see this here, Tina, where I'm pointing? Yeah?
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, you would have walked past it a million times. Do you know what I mean? Without realising
I'm
it's
sure I
Leazes
have,
Terrace.
but I've never noticed it.
Just literally opposite the east stands. That's Leazes Terrace, but it goes around like that. So the big issue with extending the east stand in the
issue.
past has been Leazes Terrace, because extending the east stand would encroach into that area and you can't knock it down because it's a listed building, or it's very difficult to knock it down. And now that they've bought the majority of Leazes Terrace, the speculation automatically has been, oh, well, actually, the club are going to extend the east stand because now, hypothetically, they can incorporate Leazes Terrace into the extension or even knock it down potentially. But as Ian, and Borky have said, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means that we own that and it gives us options to do a lot of things. And that also could be to incorporate it as part of a package with the club. And it could be a corporate hospitality package where we use Leazes Terrace, as a package for people to go to before the game, perhaps. But the reason I got this image up here is obviously because it shows an imagination of a new stadium. And it's not quite the bubble wrap, it's the, as you christened it, Christina, the diamond on the hill. And I think this, honestly, I think this looks brilliant, personally.
It's a beautiful stadium, but there's no chance of it because you'd basically have to clear St James's Park for about 4 years.
Honestly, Borky,
to build it.
I know. Ignore that side. I'm literally just putting this up.
I'm saying it's a beautiful stadium. It is a beautiful stadium.
Aye.
But
So
where it is isn't realistic.
No. But imagine it was up here. So just imagine this was here, right? Because like you say, that's what it would be hypothetically. Um, yeah. What do you make of that look? I mean, you've got the glass, you've got like I say, it's like a diamond going up. I mean, I think it's reminiscent of the cantilevered roof at St James's, so it's a bit of a nice passing of the torch, if you like. So it's modern, but it's got that St James's kind of nod. I love the fronts like that, and you could have the bubble wrap going around the other side potentially, but um, I really like the look of that. Even I'm being really detailed here, but even the roof sloping down there, I like that as well, where it kind of feels enclosed, and it's a bit like the Gallagher end roof, if you like. So it's another little nod. Um, and that walking up Barrack Road, I think that would look bloody impressive. Ian, what do you think of
It
that?
would. No, it would look fantastic. It would look fantastic. Um, the other element, by the way, just to go back to Leazes Terrace, that Newcastle owns it now, they still have a mountain of planning difficulties to get through to be able to be allowed to build a new stadium on either further up on Leazes Park or on Nuns Moor.
Mm.
The fact that they've got Leazes Terrace, which are beautiful listed buildings, but actually most of it's student accommodation at the minute. So I'm guessing it's not quite as beautiful as it used to be on the inside. That Newcastle could be trading, restoring these Grade 1 listed buildings to their full pomp as they were when they were first put up, in return
Mm.
for assistance on the planning to get the new stadium built. Just a thought. They've taken away anybody who can complain about there being no light
Mm.
if it comes to it, because it's only them. They're not going to complain to themselves. But I do think that as a long game, it's a great what's the word? It's a great pawn in this game, in that they'll probably want to do them up to have them as something gorgeous to be part of the new development.
Mm.
But so will the council would be delighted if that could be restored to where it was, instead of being student flats.
Score some points
And
that way.
yeah, and that could help smooth the way for getting the necessary planning to, I don't know, fill the pond in or
The cost
disrupt
would
the
be
trams,
very
whatever it is.
the cost would be very little. You turn that, if you're realistic, if they move the stadium, that's probably going to become a hotel of some type, isn't it? It's going to become a very, very high end hotel for people to stay at
Absolutely.
who are visiting the area and are going to matches, especially. So, as you say, it's a no brainer for them buying Leazes Terrace, whatever the reason they've done it for, they can't lose.
Mm.
It's a great investment,
Yeah.
because I
2
think
0
they
to
paid
Villa now.
25 million for something that size. Um, yeah, you just have to give it a lick of paint and everything, and you'd be nearly doubling your money. Yes,
Mm.
I'm not an architect, was I? Before you say, probably takes more than a lick of paint,
Mm.
but you could develop that, and everything you're spending on bringing it up to full spec is going to be added onto the value of what it is when you're finished.
Yeah.
Well, I
Mm.
actually am an architect. Wait, what? No, sorry, Aries. I'm an Aries. Forget it. Move on.
Did you
See,
forget
she's
what your
back with her
job was for a
jokes.
minute?
No, I thought I'd
We
inject a little bit of humour.
right.
I mean, as I said, I think the big thing is if there's really probably no chance. But we've all looked at it and we've all dreamed about incorporating Leazes Terrace into St James's Park.
Mm.
But on a practical level and a cost level, there's no chance they're going to do that. It's just going to cost way too much
Mm.
compared to the price of a new stadium.
Mm.
Mm.
There
What do
must be a
you?
reason they've bought Leazes Terrace though, because it's such a
Yeah.
weird thing to buy. Like, oh, we want to make this the best football stadium in the world. Should we just buy these buildings just for no reason
It's
whatsoever?
not.
Should we just
It's
buy them?
it could be the centerpiece of the glorious approach to the new cathedral on the hill,
Hey,
and
let's
I
face
do
it.
think that there could be a lot of goodwill with the council in getting planning by promising to spend a chunk of money getting them back to what they should be like, because they are lovely buildings from the outside, but they are student flats now. There'll be all sorts of bloody
Yeah.
we call it partitioning that's been put up to get all sorts of little
I think what
student
we have to get
bedrooms
used
out
to
of it.
as well is that PIF and the Rubens brothers are going to buy loads of stuff around Newcastle. If they're going to keep investing in this area, they'll want as much commercial land and as commercial properties as they can around here. And it's basically they'll just want to build a bigger and bigger portfolio because it gives them more and more power in the area over what they want to do. It's not just about Newcastle United Football Club. It's about other projects that they want to do in this area. So, the more land, and it's always been the case, the more land and the more properties that you own, the more power you have.
Yeah. Looking at that image there, what do you prefer, that or the bubble wrap that you may have seen?
That 100%. I said
Yeah,
it one way.
I think the bubble wrap looks great on Bayern Munich Stadium, and on our new stadium looks like we're copying Bayern Munich.
Exactly.
So I like that. I like that a lot.
Just quick super
I
chat there
think
before
that's-
you go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, so yeah, was there? Cheers again. Tina, I've booked you a spot in the Havana Club Thursday. You up for that, Tina?
Thank you very much, Buzz. I'll see you there. Absolutely. Why would I not?
Have a good
I
night,
think
both.
that's a beautiful stadium, but if I'm honest, I don't think that'll be the type of stadium they will go for a wrap type of stadium or something like that, because it'll be easy. What you've got, as we've all said, it's a cathedral on the hill, so you can see it from miles around. You imagine what advertising and stuff you can have on that wrap sort of structure. So
What if
something
you're
like
on the other
that.
side? I know what you mean. Like, what
But
if
you're not,
you're
going to see it from when you come across from the other side, are you, Tim? That's the only problem.
maybe like I get that. I mean,
I don't want to be the merchant of doom, but I love that one. I think that's a beautiful stadium.
But
Yeah,
look,
would that be your choice?
That
When
would be
I
my
was-
choice, but I think
Right.
they'll probably go for the more commercial option, which is to have a wrap. Whereas I say you've got, Ian Super Mackay performing here next Saturday in his one-man show.
there'd be as many people
What do you-
buying tickets for that as are buying tickets for Tina down at the Kent tennis courts on Saturday.
Wow.
That was worse than me.
Straight out here.
What I was going to say was I disagree about the bubble wrap one, because when I lived in Warsaw, the Polish National Stadium has got this sort of glass and metal structure around the top of it, and in the dark, the whole thing lights up, and they can put messages around on it. They can have a thunderstorm. They can have the northern lights. It's superb, and people travel just to look at what the stadium is doing in the evening.
I didn't
Well,
know
there
you
you
used
go.
to live in Poland.
Sorry?
I didn't know you used to live in Poland.
You did. I worked in Poland from 2013 to 2019.
Nice.
No, well, there you go,
So
Ian.
it
I
was
think,
good.
yeah, that's interesting point. That so you could have that effect, basically, that the book is saying, with glass, and obviously, these days, I mean, I would have thought they could do a lot of things these days with different types of material and stuff. So that's what you're saying, Ian, that it is
Some
possible.
incredible.
Have-
I mean,
have that beacon,
lights
if you like.
lights just get more and more sophisticated and easier to. I mean, you just have to look at some of the light shows that they've got on stage at the City Hall to see how sophisticated you can get with lights. Something like that, all set up with computers and stuff, could be absolutely fantastic.
You could also do a light show over the top, like what we did when we had the when I can't remember what it was. I think it was not long after we'd taken over. Now I know it was after we signed Toon Army, but we had like Adidas advertised above the stadium, and we had Toon Army advertised above the stadium. You could easily do that, and we can clearly do that with what we've got already. So you could build a stadium that looks like that and still advertise just with like the light show. Just
Yeah.
tell them they've got to pay more for the lecky.
It was the drones, though, wasn't it, with Seller that was doing all of that one? They did it over the river. You'd have all sorts of stuff like that, which would be, yeah. I mean, it's just moving forward, isn't it? And there's no limits. The limit is the cleverest person's imagination. But don't worry, because by 2028, AI will be able to think of stuff that we can't dream of.
Not sure that's how AI works, but
Well, it was a mic drop moment, wasn't it?
not massively, because AI learns from us. So it can never go beyond what we can teach it to.
But they've
But
got
that's a
AI now,
different discussion
Christina.
for a different
Regurgitate.
show.
They've got AI
Yeah.
now. The developers don't know what they've done or how they've done it, but they've created AI that is able to teach itself. And
I think
apparently
they
by
know, Ian. Don't worry about
2028,
that.
I
I
think
think
this
they
is
know.
a niche show, isn't it? If
by
they would go
2028,
for the AI.
AI will have more brain power than the human race. And it's scary, but that's why I'm pleased I'm as old as I am. You young'uns, oh my God, you'll be like Planet of the Apes.
It'll be fine. Some guy with glasses will come and tell me that I need to save the planet, and I'll save the planet, and then we can just go back to playing video games and talking about football. Do not worry. I've got it all in hand, Ian.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Is that a film reference?
It was, yes.
Which film?
The Matrix? Have you...
Oh, The Matrix. Jeez, great guy.
I mean,
Some
can
guy got the glasses isn't exactly the broadest description, but yeah, I
no,
get you
fair
now.
Well,
point.
I
Well,
thought-
no,
I
because I
thought
thought
she
you could
was-
see in my head. You said you could see in my head, and I was like
Right.
sending you a picture of the
I
Matrix
thought
and
she
everything that I
was,
was saying.
I thought she was talking about
working.
Win. Some guy with glasses turning up. And, yeah.
Yeah, Win turned up and he's like, all right, buddy lass, you need to save the planet. AI is taking over.
Aye.
All right, Win, no
Is-
problem.
Is the Matrix the one with a? Is it a pen or something where it can erase the memories?
No, that's Men in Black.
Men in Black.
Men in Black. Oh, I've got no idea about the Matrix.
Wow, I'm actually the geekiest
Did somebody
person on
do
this
that
show.
to you this afternoon, Borky? Did somebody do
What?
that with a pen to you this afternoon?
Erase me memories. I wish. There's a lot of things that have to go from this head.
Would you start with that time that you got us thrown off YouTube because you accidentally played part of the game? That's for your little dig at me earlier.
Hang on. I give the fans in the chat what they wanted.
You definitely did. 5 minutes of the game for absolutely free. Broke
was
like,
executive-
oh man.
Executive decision, that bought, wasn't it? You know what? Screw
It
this.
was. I thought to myself, I really don't. I'll be honest. I did it by accident, but I really don't like doing games. So there might have been a little bit of subconscious there, saying to yourself, get yourself through off ever being offered to do a game as a game.
Ask me to do this so I can copyright it. Enjoy that one.
But no, definitely check out The Matrix, mate. Absolutely brilliant film. Superb. First one, anyway. Yeah, I think just to go back to the stadium, right? I think Bayern Munich and the bubble wrap, right? It looks brilliant. I agree. It looks superb, and I'm not denying that. And if we had that, yeah, it would look brilliant in Leazes Park. But as Ian says, like, that's Bayern's stadium. They got there first. They've done that. So, okay, that's that. Why don't we do something that's ours and something that's unique to us and has our own identity? That's what I'd be thinking with a new stadium. And in response to the bubble wrap kind of speculation, and obviously there's something to it because it has been leaked, hasn't it? So how far you go with it, like I say, maybe there's a way you can incorporate the bubble wrap where it's around a lot of it, but at least the front is like that with the glass at the front, and it is more unique to Newcastle. And with the roof as well, and the glass going all the way around the roof, I'd want to see something like that. It's classy but intimidating. It's got those nods to St James's Park. I hope we'll go down that route as opposed to a copy and paste of something else. We will see. So, Christina, stay or go? Stay at St James's Park or build a new one?
Wow.
Like, if you could extend the East Stand, I know it's hypothetical, but let's say you could do that in the Gallagher end, would you stay and extend, or would you go to something like this new stadium?
I would probably go to a new stadium just because I'm excited at the new design idea. But also because I think these two are going to say stay at St James's, so I just wanted to bring some balance. But yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to say that. I would
you
never
not?
say
No,
that.
I'm not.
Well, stay at St
Oh.
James 62, 65, or go to a new stadium 70, 75.
Ian, what though
New
if you get
stadium.
St James to 72? Because I think you could get it to 72 if you extend the Gallagher and East Stand, hypothetically again. What would you do then?
I've got nothing against our existing St James's Park. Of course I haven't. I love it. But I just think there's an opportunity here to really, we want a global stage. Let's have a stadium that puts us on a global stage. let's have a stadium that's the first one whenever anything comes to the UK and they need stadiums, whether that's a Euros or a World Cup or European Championships or rugby competition or whatever, that St James's Park, sorry, the new stadium, is the first one that they ask if it's available. That's what I'm after. That's what we need to get that income up. We need that.
Yeah, I think
That's
what
why
you have to
Tottenham have
remember,
still got the income they've got, because their stadium gets used for concerts every weekend through the summer.
I think what you have to remember as well is with St James's Park. If we extend that, that's it done. There's no room for in the future to extend further. It gets as big as it can, and there's nowhere else you can go with it. I mean, if we do them two stands, that's it done. Whereas you build a new stadium, you can future proof it as well. So if you need 80, 90, 100,000 fans in the future, the stadium can be extended. So that you can build it. If the architects will build in options with a new stadium for if we absolutely take off massively as a football club and need more fans, more spaces, it can be done. St James's Park, once you extend it this time, there's very, very little, if not nothing, that you can then do with it. So it's sad, and I love it. As Ian says, I would love seeing James's Park, but everything now is saying, that it's time for it to say, you're in with memories. You'll always be there. You'll always be the historic home, but it's time to move house. It's time the kids are growing up, we're getting bigger, and you need somewhere bigger to move into.
So is that what you would do?
I would move personally. As I said, it just future proofs you as well, because there's no future proof at St James's Park. As I say, once you've built the extension to the east stand and the south stand, there's nothing else you can do. That's it. Whereas a new stadium, you leave yourself options to be able to expand in the future.
Aye.
What
I
about
get
you?
that.
You haven't answered. You asked all of us.
Oh, I was going to
Mr.
get away with that one,
Host.
Christine. I was going to quickly move on.
No. I keep my eye on the host, you see, because I know you do this. You ask questions and never answer them. What would you do?
Hold their feet to the fire. Yeah, honestly, it's very difficult. I think the best way to sum it up is what I've said earlier on, in that my heart says extend St James's and stay there with both sides, because it would look immense. That's the thing, is that it's not like Goodison Park and other stadiums where they've looked run down. If you extend the Gallagher and East Stand, that would look immense. There's no doubt about it. And I would be looking at that, proud that is our home, and you're retaining the history of it. And I think it would be intimidating for teams. I think it would just be brilliant. And you could then revamp the insides to host concerts and stuff, and have facilities that they're up to date, etc. So there is a large part of us thinking, what, do that, but I think my head also says basically what you have said, in that when you've got that blank canvas with a new stadium, I think there's less complications, there's more scope, like you say, Borky, to future-proof things. So I think it probably is the right decision to do that, but again, with the asterisks there, that you don't just do a copy and paste. It has to be something unique to us. It has to have character. So that's the kind of the caveat with this. If you give me a bland copy and paste stadium, then no, I think I would stay. But something like that like this picture here that we've had up,
The diamond
then
on the hill.
yeah, exactly. As long as it's something like that, and then it's and as well, to be honest with you, I know a lot of it is about money, but as long as the layout of the ground is appropriate, and that you don't completely price fans out as well, because I think you can ensure you don't do that while also make a lot of money. It's that balance and that compromise. And we're talking about the rail seats, the rail safe standing at St James's that's happening next season. As long as you incorporate that sort of stuff in a new stadium with a strategy, because another good point actually, I think, around this, in terms of a blank canvas, is the season ticket holders. So with a new stadium, you can have a layout in that ground as you see fit. You can identify, the Gallagher end, the new Gallagher end, the new Cop end, where you can have like the yellow wall in Dortmund, and it's safe standing, and every person who buys a ticket in that area of the ground knows what they're getting. So there's no disruptions, there's no arguments about wanting to sit or stand. You go there knowing what the deal is, and it's kind of like the unofficial singing section that starts all the noise that travels around the ground. And you've got the family areas, you've got obviously the corporate areas, you've got some seats that are, you know, a bit cheaper, you've got seats that are more expensive in the middle ground. You've got that accessibility to plan all that. Whereas if you extend St James's Park, you're still stuck with the current layouts and having to move people around. I think that's something that could be a deal breaker as well.
Just
Personally.
looking a bit further ahead as well, Tim, in
Yeah.
terms of generating cash. If you build a new stadium up the road a bit, that you have to knock St James's Park down to finish, then you've then got a cleared site, which you could put a little stadium up for the ladies' team, maybe, or you could put
Or
a
you could just
concert
give us
hall up,
St James's Park.
or you could build an arena that would be good for boxing or something. You could extend that whole, just because you've moved up doesn't mean that bit that's left is going to be wasted. That could just be a much bigger complex,
I think
which
with that,
presumably is what they want to do. They don't just want to shift the ground 100 yards into the park and leave it at that.
I think with that, Ian, I think part of the agreement of giving up Leazes Park would be that St James's Park had to go back to Greenbelt land. I don't think they're going to let her just extend, build a new stadium, plus keep the land where St James's is. I think I think the club would have to compromise on that. I don't see
That's
the
just going to be
council
a
or I don't see the
60-yard
council
square
or any.
field.
Well, but that'll be part of the thing. Now, when you build a new building, you have to will actually owe the council land if we do that, because you have to if you use green belt land, you have to then give more back. Than I think I'm sure it's like 10% or 20% or something like that you have to give back. So I think if we get a new stadium in Leazes Park, you're basically giving St James's Park back as an actual park.
Right.
That would be my understanding.
Well, you
Yeah.
could gift them after you've done up Leazes Terrace. You could gift that back to the council and say, but we're going to keep
Or we
this
could sell it
bit
to
because we want to
PIF.
put. I don't know. It's up to them to sort it out, isn't it? What I mean is, it's an exciting development that there's an opportunity there to
100%.
really design bespoke solutions to the income streams that they're hoping that they're going to tap into. Because let's just say WWE wants to come to Newcastle with the best will in the world. There ain't 75,000 people turning up to watch them in the stadium. We need a smaller hall for something like that, if that's the sort of thing that they're looking for.
Well, the WWE goes on in the arena, though, doesn't it? So that's why I don't get why we need anything bigger for concerts. Like, we've already got the arena, which is like
Newcastle
a
doesn't make
short
anything on the
walk.
arena. That's not us. That's not
No.
Newcastle, though, is it? Somebody else is making that money.
I
That's
thought
why
that
you
was
want.
originally part of. Sorry, go on.
That's why you want gigs and that at St James's Park, is because the money goes then to the football club.
Yeah.
But it's Ian saying that the arena, it's got nothing to do with the football club. They're a commercial entity that'll just take the profits.
Yeah, and I think if you've got the facilities that are tailored towards that, like Spurs, then you can be kind of the go-to place for fans of that band who were kind of in the north of England, who would travel to Newcastle if it holds the capacity, go and see their favourite band there. I mean, again, got to be careful because I don't want it to be looked upon as just a sports venue. It is Newcastle United hosting these events. I think Jimmy Redknapp summed up really well with Tottenham last night, speaking on Sky Sports, saying that, a lot of Spurs fans think that their club is being turned into an entertainment venue, not a football club. And that's where you've got to be clever with these things. And sometimes it's as simple as things, like I said on the show before, where you have Newcastle United wording emblazoned in your face within the ground, so it doesn't look like a bland entertainment venue that could be anywhere. Sometimes details like that make a big difference. I want to catch up with some of the comments here. So Niall Powell says they are only saying 65,000 for a new stadium. I mean, I used to think 65,000 was a sweet spot, but now I do think 70 it should be. If you're going to leave St James's, I know there's other reasons to leave, but if you're going to leave St James's, then I think I want to do it for more than an extra, whatever, like 12,000 seats. I think, we need to do more than that. What do you think? What would your capacity be?
I think let's start
70
at
is a bit-
70, doesn't it? Look upwards.
I think they should just decide on building to the exact amount that Anthony Gordon's transfer fee is agreed on. somewhere between 65 and 80. And if he goes for 67.5, it's 67.5. So personally, I think 70. I do.
Yeah.
When I ended up in the queue for my Barcelona tickets and I was number 112,000, I think that's demonstrating that there's some demand for tickets. Because there was none of the season tickets in that queue, season ticket holders in that queue. They were already going. So there's a huge demand, and I know it's not going to be every week, and you don't want to build something that's empty if we don't do as well. But I mean, there's no sign, despite the dreadful season we've had, and the discontent. There's no sign that the crowd's not turning up for the home games.
Yeah.
Is there? I think it was 50, still over 52 when I was at Brighton. So nobody walked with their feet.
Yeah. Tina, give us a number.
I mean, I agree with these. 70 to 75,000 would be what I would be looking for. And I think the advantage of going to a new ground rather than staying at the old one is that to expand our ground to, like, I think it's 72 that we can manage, which I think would be okay. Anything over 70 I'm fine with. But we'd probably have half a stadium for at least half a season while we were expanding St James's Park, if we were to get that increased attendance, whereas a new stadium, we could just build that at 75,000 and be done with it.
True.
Do you want a little bit of a rumour that I've heard on this in regards to... sorry, you're going to do the super chat first, David.
Yeah, just to get this sort of cheers.
Yeah.
Borky. So thanks, Wazza. Giggs is past it, Borky, you silly sausage. Giggs is past it.
I think he means gigs, as in I'm talking about music gigs and he's talking about Ryan gigs.
It's okay. Aye.
Once you're in Wazza's brain, you get what he's actually saying, which is a bit of a worry, if I'm honest, on this channel. But
pull you back out.
The rumour I've heard is that, you know how we're rumoured to be going to Motherwell this season, Murrayfield this season to do a couple of friendlies. The reason for that is if they do decide to extend St James's Park and they have to, close it or get it shut down for a season or part of the season, they're looking at the logistics of whether they could use Murrayfield as our home game for our home games for a portion of a season.
Isn't that in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
What's the capacity?
67,000, I think.
Really?
Around that area, yeah.
Oh, fair play.
And it's not a football stadium, so there's no sort of issues with football or anything like that. So that may be a load of tosh, but that was one of the rumours that I heard.
Aye. I wonder if that would be for a full season or would it be like for a half season? Because if it's a half season, I mean, my word, that would be crazy, really, to go to Edinburgh for your games. But maybe it'd be more palatable for 6 months than it would be for a year. I don't know.
I mean, where else could you play? The problem is, if you're going to extend St James's Park, but we're going off on a hypothetical here, but if you're going to extend St James's Park, your options are you ignore what probably the East Stand and South Stand's probably half the ground, isn't it, basically? Or you play the game somewhere else for a little bit. So, I think it's something that they obviously would have to look into it to see. So, God, you couldn't go to Scumberland, you couldn't have Newcastle fans heading in there every week. It would just be a logistical nightmare. Whereas heading up and out of town wouldn't be too much of a problem to there.
Maybe PIF
I've
would put
watched.
on kind of free travel or something as well.
Yeah,
Going up there, which would soften things a bit.
It's not
Ian, what
going
do you
I'm
make of
sure I
that?
remember when. Well, I'm sure I remember when. Well, I don't like the idea of going up to Edinburgh, but I haven't got a solution that's got a 67,000 seater stadium, which we can call our own for a year. Certainly
What
haven't.
about the
I'm
Qatar
just
stadiums?
I'm remembering as a lad that I'm sure I was there when the East Stand was going up, and it was just closed down that side, just shut down. And then the same when the big wooden one went down and they put the Milburn Stand up, we didn't have to move stadium. It was
Yeah,
just, the
yeah,
Leazes End was shut down at one end.
Well, we didn't have
because
what what
52,000 fans then,
what
though,
you do
did
with them
we?
fans then? What you do with the likes of? Because I mean, to be honest, the big one from the channel would be Win seat would be closed off for a while. You know, a guy that's been going to the matches for years and years and years. What do you do with somebody like him? Do you kick another fan out of their seat, or do you say to Wayne, "Sorry, mate, you stayed. Your part of the stadium's gone for a season. You're not going to get
Well,
to go to the games."
you probably make a sweetener on the price of the season tickets when the new season tickets are issued to get volunteers to say, "I'll sit out this season because you're going to give us a free season ticket next year."
Could you
Whatever it
what choice
is.
imagine
do
the
you have,
bad?
really?
Could you imagine the bad news stories around here though for the club where, like you'd have little old Win again going on the little old pensioners going. I've been going to the match since 1960 odd. I've never missed a game. Now I'm getting kicked out of my seat. And I'm not going to see the games. The,
No, I'm
it's
not
a really
suggesting that.
really difficult one if the
I don't know if you can do it. I don't know if you could do that
yeah.
anyway, because you'd have a massive building site. Back in those days, there wasn't quite as extensive health and safety legislation as there is now. So I don't know if it's possible now, but I'm sure that's how the ground was developed in the first place in my lifetime. They just shut it and pulled it down and built it up, and then we watched the games, but there was nothing happening on that side. Um, Wild. But I mean, how do you get 50,000 people up to Edinburgh every other Saturday, or on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock?
Well, that's it.
That'd be
You'd have to have an
chaos.
agreement with the Premier League about the times and days that you played your games, wouldn't you? You couldn't be, as you say, going up there, expected to go up there on a Wednesday night. It's 8 o'clock at night.
Or we get
So,
another half five on a Sunday night kickoff
but then again, I mean, look
for the
look at
telly.
away games. Look at away games. I suppose is part of it as well. It's a really really difficult one, but as I say, it could be absolutely complete BS. But just a rumor I heard, but I mean, and it kind of made sense in my head because the thought was, well, why the hell are we playing two friendlies up in Murrayfield this season if it does happen? Sorry, for our pre-season if it does happen. What's the reason behind that?
Yeah, I mean, what about building a temporary stadium? Wynn's mentioned this, hasn't he?
Yeah, I
With
like the
the
idea of that.
It's impossible.
With
Qatar
shipping
type
crates.
stadiums. Yeah, that's it. Shipping crates.
They
Let's
threw it up
not
in
do
Qatar and it worked.
Mm.
Put it up on Gateshead's ground. Play there for a year, 2 years. Take it back down and build Gateshead a nice little stadium so they can get in the league.
Even Gateshead Stadium, Ian, if you look at it, there's no chance you could do that. There's not the room around it, and it would be even worse. Therefore, probably getting people in and out of because everybody's going to have to get the metro or buses back into town to get anywhere else to get the proper public transport and trains.
What do you think about having a season where we just play 2 away games with everybody? Just play everything away.
I mean, that's a
Never
terrible
thought of
idea. Have you seen our away form over the past 5 years? Are you now wearing a Manchester City jersey, by the way? Ian, have you switched to glory hunting? Are you now about to fill one of those many, many empty seats?
No, this is Air. Do you know Air? French band? Sexy Boy? That's who this is.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on. So I wonder if you can... I can't turn around. As a younger man, I would have been able to turn around in my seat and show you my back, but I'm too stiff to do it now. It's got Air on the back, yeah.
Alright.
Saw that.
Oh,
I saw them
nice
in Halifax
sweater.
last year.
Was it saying, Ian, that you can start a really long conga 12 hours prior, I think, to Edinburgh? That he means.
You could do that, or you
Yeah.
could just take a train, which goes from
Yeah, they would just
Newcastle Central to Edinburgh, so you could do that.
but they'd need 25 trains at least, wouldn't they?
We've
25
got
trains,
hundreds of
one after the
trains.
other.
I want to go.
There is a station at Murrayfield.
There you go, sorted.
But it's a 50,000 fans going down, isn't it? I'm just thinking that would that not be chaos? Like maybe it would work.
Maybe that's why they're looking into it. But the chaos would also be that you would have all the away fans travelling up with the fans. I suppose you could stop the train stopping at a central station, like, but potentially you'd have all the away fans travelling up with the home fans.
Or maybe there's no away fans. Maybe they come to an agreement where
Maybes.
they can't have away fans.
That would be a bit unfair on away teams, though, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be. It would be. But I think you'd have it for like some derbies, don't there? You know, the Celtic Rangers as well. There's been no away fans up until recently,
That's
I think.
because in that fixture, people get chinned and put in hospital. Like, you need to
different
do that.
reasons.
You can't just be
Different
like,
reasons,
oh, we're
but-
building a new stadium, we can't have any away fans, you're just going to have to play football and we've got 60,000 screaming Geordies laughing at you every time you don't touch the ball right.
But
Like,
logistically, and like Borty says, it's about how chaotic that will be, where you got two fans mixing, and it's kind of for the same reason to stop that disruption and that potential violence, if you like. I don't know. I mean, like you say,
just a quick one. Another way of looking at it is that the maybe wouldn't be 52,000 fans actually travelling up, because in regards to this, how many season tickets do we actually have? I know the club never released it, but I think it's around 40,000. So, would it be 35,000 is a lot easier to think of going up there than 52,000?
Yeah, it might drop down the capacity as to.
Then you don't
how
want
many again.
35,000 in a 67,000 ground, do you?
It's only temporary.
That's
To
like
make
everybody in, yeah.
Aye. To make the noise though and stuff, I don't know. Some comments here I want to go through, right? So we've got Bill Bad Dad saying practically if they are spending 30 million now on the stadium, it's a knocking bet that we will be staying where we are with ultra modifications. I don't think it necessarily means that. I think it's really good that they are doing this. It just means that they kind of don't want to stand still while they are looking at the options going forward. And David Hopkinson spoke on a video along with Ross Wilson, speaking about what we mentioned about the safe standing, the pitch modifications, the screens. Did you see that video, by the way, of
Yeah.
Hopkinson speaking? What did you make of how he came across, Borgie?
Very, very ambitious. He's obviously got I think he's a guy that's going to have a one-track mind. Sort of, he's going to get in his head that he wants to do something. And I thought him and Wilson spoke really well on it. I thought the both of them, painted out a plan at least. One interesting thing I thought about that was, and we're not going to get into the Eddie Howe situation, but he didn't actually speak. I think he was in a hard hat in the new academy, but he never actually spoke on it. So, I think them two are maybe pushing the fact forward that, look, the higher up in this club, things are changing.
Ian, Christina, did you see the video?
I didn't, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Oh,
I mean,
when did it come out?
Yeah, it's out now. It's on the website as well.
Just this week.
It's on
Just this
Newcastle
week, though, is
United
it?
website, not just the date.
That's why I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
It's a montage of them speaking over with some of the, shots of the ground, talking about the modifications of St James's as it is, and obviously it's a bit of a PR thing. They're reading kind of from a script, but it was interesting to hear them speak. And like what you said, I thought they came across well. I thought they are driven to make the best of what we have now, regardless of what we do in the future. And I think it doesn't mean that we are definitely going to say stay at St James's Park. A few of the comments here. So a level pitch will be nice now. I think got to keep that slope, mate, to some extent. We've got Grom
Till we
Torn
get a
saying
new
move.
pitch.
Yeah, true. Well, we could maybe be sneaky about that. We'll see. Grom Torn says move. That's the only answer. Build it in Gateshead, Michael says, but as we've said, that would logistically, I think, be an absolute nightmare. Get a new stadium sponsor for 150 million. I mean, that is, again, it's the financials, isn't it, of a new stadium that way. I mean, again, I'm old-fashioned. Do you incorporate Leazes Park into the title like, Nou Camp have got Spotify, Nou Camp? I would like to see that. I would.
It's not.
But
It's just going to be the Saudi Air Stadium. So what? That's where Newcastle play. Southampton wave goodbye to the Dell. Man City wave goodbye to Main Road, and they've now got a different name for their stadium. It's just,
I think another question as fans is, why is St James? Obviously, it was built on St James's Park, but why was St James's Park named St James's Park, that area? Because I don't know.
Because St James built it, maybe.
But
yeah,
again, I get it completely. It's sentimental, but sometimes sentimental in football and in life has to be walked away from a little bit and moved on from.
Yeah, I get it. Honestly, I get it. I just think for me, it's the history of whatever the basis was. That is the name of that area in Newcastle upon Tyne, and has been for centuries, God knows how long. Yeah. Versus a corporate name of a company that stands for who knows what. Do you know what I mean? That's the trade-off, if you like, just for me. And again, it is sentimental. I agree, Borky. And I just look at Barcelona. They haven't taken away Nou Camp. They've kept it, and they've put Spotify alongside it. Probably not going to happen maybe with us, but it's something I would like to see as a compromise. I've got some other comments here. So you do realise by moving, ticket prices will be 3-4 times more expensive. Well, maybe so. Maybe they'll want that. But we've got to hold their feet to the fire as fans. They might want to try and do things like that, and yes, you've got to accept things to an extent because we can have the best corporate packages. We've got to make money that way, but I think you've got to offset that with making it affordable to the working class fan. And we have to safeguard the future of the fans. And if we price out a young lad going from a working class area, then they're not going to bring up their kids potentially to have the same experience. And then generations later, football is not what we knew and doesn't have the same magic. And again, maybe that's sentimental, but no, I think that does have substance to it.
Tim, I completely agree with you with that. But I think, unfortunately, in regards to this, it's going to be that they're a commercial entity. They're going to get as much money as they can for tickets. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
they will.
3 or 4 times more expensive.
Look at the shirts and things like that. They're just going to want. At the end of the day, the name of the company is what they do. So obviously they want to make profit. And the biggest way they can make profit is by charging more for tickets and getting Newcastle higher up the league. They destroy the product they've got if they just end up wanting to sell it to companies and not having the crowd. Completely,
I think prices will go up. Prices will go up anyway. That's why they're redeveloping the ground so they can charge a bit more in this ground for the next 3 to 4 years because they need the income to be rising. But I don't think it'd be 3 or 4 times more, and certainly not if there's a sponsor chucking an extra 100 million into to be in the name.
But I don't think PIF
mitigated, won't it?
But PIF are never ever not going to sell tickets for the most amount of money they can. They're a business, and it's a business person. If you're in business, if you've got a commodity that you can sell, you sell it for the biggest price you can. And I know it's disappointing and it's not what fans want to hear, but that's exactly what will happen.
Just before the American Mag comes in there, I would just say that I would like to think they're intelligent enough to not go like the full whole hog and that full cold approach where they can sprinkle in a bit of common sense and a bit of leniency, if you want to say that, towards the working class and towards the ticket prices in some areas, because like you say, Ian, it's the product, and without that product they don't have the same value. So they might not, but they need to have that in mind, and we need to hold their feet to the fire in that regard. Chris, late night show.
Hello fellas, hello folks. Good show, good conversations, of course. But hey, Wynn already told you he doesn't care about pricing fans out. He wants to make money. So, there you go, man. That's what happens. That's what happens.
There's a bit of breaking news as well. So you mean there's a massive queue beginning to form at the tennis courts at Leazes Park.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
I'd look like it's sold out now.
Yeah, because they've subbed me out and put Win in my place. That's why there's a queue there now.
Wynn,
I'm going to sell a ticket all, yeah?
He's not here to defend himself. He's not here to defend himself. But he is, I don't know, he's probably locked up somewhere in by the Northumberland police or something like that at this moment in time. But anyway, lovely show, fellas. Lovely show. And, of course, Christina, of course, as well. So thank you very much. We got to get started with the late night show right now. We'll have a good one. Take care.
Set up for maximum confrontation and super opinionated debates. The NUFC Late Night Show with Chris the American Man, Derek the Mighty Wind, and the rest of the panel, Monday through Thursday from 9:30 p.m. UK and UFC Talk Radio, the voice of the Toon Army.
We are live here, ladies and gents, on the show. Roy should be joining us at some point. He's going to be late. DXK should be on his way as well. But we're going to have a good discussion. I mean, the stadium talk continues. Newcastle United bringing latest news when it comes to now. There's more. It seems like it's more about the current stadium. Clearly, £30 million invested now on the pitch and new screens and everything else. We're going to play the video that you guys were talking about earlier on and show it to the folks, or remind them on what is going on right now. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, folks, and help the channel out. Subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, help the channel out. Super chat, that helps a lot to pay for Mighty Wynn's medication. We gotta triple the dosage, man, because he is knackered, man. It ain't not working. It's not working. It's that dodgy medication we get from content, though. That's the problem. So we need to get new pharmacy, man, over there. But yeah, I mean, you guys were talking about it, Sean. You're just getting added onto the show, but £30 million. That's I just feel like we're doing more. It feels like we're doing more to stay where we're at as opposed to a new stadium. Although it could be all part of a big plot to move away, but I don't know. It's still. I mean, again, 30 million to them is probably not a lot of money, but I feel like it is a lot of money, especially if you're looking at PIF is starting to be more cautious on their investments and taking money away from certain businesses and so on and so forth. For them to just say, let's just throw 30 million here, 25 million for some buildings we can't do anything about. I don't know. It feels a bit weird, if you will. But let's see if we can play the video. If don't have any issues with it. If not, we'll try another route. But let's go and see what they.
This summer, we're investing more than £30 million across our facilities. From fully rebuilding our pitch and enhancing fans' matchday experience here at St. James's Park, to extending our training center, which will become the NUFC, as well as investing in our academy and Cochrane Park.
Across the first team training centre here, our academy and Cochrane Park, we're making significant investment to improve the facilities that we have here already. The purpose of that is we really want to invest right across our pathway, from our men's first team, through our academy, everything that we're doing there, and into our women's programme as well, as we continue raising the bar as much as we possibly can across everything that we're doing here at Newcastle United. This summer sees the training centre where we sat now in the first team area here, renamed as the NUFC. Our first team will return to renewed and refresh areas across medical, across performance, dressing room facilities, which will be a massive upgrade for them. We do, as everybody knows, have a bigger vision to move to another site in the future. That is part of our vision. We're all very committed to that. Whilst we wait to get there, we must continue making strides forward as much as we possibly can. The progress can't stop. The investments that we're making across our sites and across our pathway are really important to achieving that across this summer.
We've got a massive programme of investment works happening. Things like the pitch where we do a complete rebuild. We're introducing sub-air and a brand new under-pitch heating system. We're also investing in our floodlighting. We're replacing all of our halogens with a brand new LED system. It gives us a lot more control and a lot more options. The other thing that the fans will see is that we're installing brand new safe standing area up at level 7. We also want to make sure that we have robust and contingent operations. This investment package really speaks to that and allows us to achieve that. And in addition to all of those things, we're introducing some brand new screens within the bowl. This package of investment will elevate the experience for our players, staff and our supporters.
The work we're carrying out this summer is about using the space we have intelligently. Investing in hospitality areas, alongside performance facilities and the wider stadium, allows us to raise the quality and consistency of what we do. Our aim is to ensure everyone who visits St James's Park has an experience they're proud of, from the moment they arrive until beyond the final whistle.
This investment is happening because progress at this club cannot and will not stand still. Sustained growth isn't about any one moment or any one decision. It's about consistently moving forward, raising standards, and building momentum every single year. Whatever longer-term decisions we make, one thing never changes, and that's our ambition. That's why we're investing, and that's why we keep pushing forward. The bigger questions about this stadium and our training ground will be answered in their own time. What matters today is the work already underway, because everyone who walks through these gates deserves a club that keeps moving forward.
I'm going to get me suit measured.
There you go, ladies and gents. And that is that. We had that little NUFC Talk touch at the end of that video. But that is the video. That was the, I mean, I guess Tim was saying, kind of a PR thing. But I guess being straightforward with the fans about what's going on. Somebody was saying over there in the chat that 35 million is probably 35p to them. I don't know, man. I don't know, especially how they have been dealing with their other businesses. And you might think, well, they're taking money out of that to put it into this one. That could be. But I don't know. Every single thing that I'm seeing, new turf, the sub air, like, I guess they're building something to where if it snows heavily or ices, it would just melt right away. Kind of like a heater in your swimming pool. You guys wouldn't know that because you guys don't ever go swimming with that gray anywhere really in the UK, isn't it? Unless you're in Southampton. Oh, DX, man. We're knackered, man. DX, baby. Which we got breaking news, by the way, 6 minutes ago, or more than that, actually, now 10 minutes ago. Southampton's appeal against their expulsion from the playoff final has been dismissed. So Middlesbrough will definitely take on Hull at Wembley on Saturday. So DX is devastated, but hey man, stop spying on people, man. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, I shouldn't be in Boki's shower. It's a bit dodgy.
Which, by the way, if we're actually that honest, we're gonna get to the Newcastle. We're gonna get to Newcastle stuff, of course. But if you're really that honest with yourself, how can that dude with, I guess he had a camera, I don't know what he had, or binoculars or whatever, how does that translate to stuff on the pitch? Really, how much information could he have gotten to help Southampton? Yeah. I don't know, but I guess it's in the rules. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, right. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys make of that video? One of the things, I think everything leads up to, it feels like everything is renovating St. James's Park, and even I guess the experience, like the restaurants that were showing all that stuff, which is very much fan driven. Like fans have to pay for that stuff if they want to, which not a lot of fans do, by the way. I mean, a lot of them say the food is not great in there, so I guess it depends. But still, even if you go, that's a lot of money, which goes to as well the topic of stop milking the fans and get the money somewhere else type of thing, But anyway, give me your thoughts, especially Sean and DX. You guys just joined. So, Sean, what do you think? Are you going to be spending money on filet mignon at St. James's Park from now on?
No. I think it's a good PR. I think it's very good. Like, it shows that they're trying to communicate with the fans, because we've seen to be distant between each other. 30 million doesn't seem like a lot. Well, it is a lot of money, but not to them. So I just think they're just trying to upscale it to make it look better, like not let it run down, just trying to keep it to the modern game.
And they're also doing internet, by the way. If big internet.
They're putting 5G or not 5G, aren't they? But you see, if we're going to move stadiums and go to a new stadium, we're still going to have that stadium still to the top notch, aren't we? Before we move. So I just think it's a good PR. See what happens. See what goes from it.
DX, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, really. What I hope is it's not kind of like kicking the can down the road for the stadium, the new stadium. But I suppose buying Leazes Park, that's kind of, or not Leazes Park, sorry, the protected buildings, sorry. Buying those, I think that's probably quite a step in the right direction. But yeah, it is a PR stunt, isn't it, really, to say we're going to do this with the ground and we're fixing things up and a lick of paint here. They're doing something, which is more than what Mike Ashley was doing. But I think it'll be when we get news on the other developments where we'll be more excited. This is like papering over the cracks a little bit of what we already have, which is good, keeps it together. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure. It's
Quentin said they spied on Eddie as well. They didn't stop laughing. Oh, come on, man. Why you gotta make it about Eddie Howe, man? Wow. He didn't do anything. Come on, man.
Pound in the Eddie jar. Come on.
Brian Penny is cheating in the same way as drugs, live stream, training videos, photos. Okay. It's cheating, simple. What? I guess it is. I mean,
not quite the same as drugs, but
I mean, so if I happen to, I don't know. It's just very subjective, isn't it? I mean, it's like the offside rule. If you're facing your own goal, running away from your goal, but your ankle is offside when you're not even participating in it. But I don't know. It's just okay. Well, I guess.
Well, it's like that Celtic game, isn't it? You know that Celtic game against Hart? I think it was. I can't remember. Just last game, that player was well off, and they even showed the lines, and he was still over that line. I don't know how it went. I don't even know how they
or Joe Willock's eyebrow the other night. Well, a couple months ago. Like, come on, man. It's probably even worse than that, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the thing is with the Southampton issue is it wasn't a one-off incident. I think it would have been.
Oh, it wasn't.
Probably got.
Oh, my bad then.
No, they ended up doing more earlier in the season as well. So it's not like a one-off problem.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I was misinformed. I didn't know that.
But I've heard today that Hull's owners don't want to play the final. They're just saying they want to be directly promoted.
Yeah, and I can see that argument as well because they're the only ones who've got through to the final technically. Middlesbrough were knocked out, so why should they get another shot?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, actually. It's it. It only happens in the championship, baby. It's kind of like biker. It's like biker and Stanley concept type talk. You know, it's dirty work down there, man. It's dirty work, the championship. I'm telling you. But hey, pragmatic win sometimes, man. Some dodgy action sometimes. You got to get the edge. Every little leverage you can get.
I think there's so much money on that game that you're always going to get something, like this sort of thing potentially going to happen. Because the difference between staying in the championship and going to the premiership is so immense. That you're always going to get teams that are going to want to get the massive advantage to try to get themselves up. Because even if you just get yourself up for one season, you're making millions and millions of pounds more than you ever would in the championship.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, Sean there in the chat, he said, if you're going to spy, send a fan in to do it, not an employee. Which I guess if you're going to be dirty, be dirty. Don't just do it. They said they was an employee. I have no clue, by the way. I just knew that they spied. And I didn't even think it was a big deal, to be honest, until, I guess they did. I did not think they were going to do anything about it. I just thought it was just something, a color story here that there was a spy out there. But they got taken off the playoff, man. That's heavy work, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. All for what? I'm assuming the manager is the one that sent him. Has he spoken about it?
I'm not sure actually.
I don't know. I've heard nothing.
Maybe it was the.
You would assume so.
Yeah.
You would think the manager has to know, because otherwise, what's the point of him being there?
Well, why would it be exactly? I mean, because
Go on, just go spy on them and then don't tell me after.
Eddie Howe would send Eddie Howe would
would
send Graham Jones out there with a mustache and some type of disguise, because he would be football related. Imagine if the CEO sent somebody out there without Eddie's permission and we got sent off the playoff. I mean, fans would be. I guarantee you, Southampton fans are knackered right now, literally. So I don't know, but either way,
I think one good thing for Newcastle is it means that we haven't got 3 trips down to the south coast this weekend, this season.
There you go, baby. There you going. No, but actually, I don't want to say this because then I'm gonna get told I don't get it. But I don't have an issue with Middlesbrough. I don't hate them. I feel like they hate Newcastle fans more than anything else. So I don't even think about the Mackems like that. Imagine Middlesbrough. So I would like to have Middlesbrough in the Premier League. I don't know.
I think Millwall would have been interesting, wouldn't they? Millwall. We've never had them in the Premier League before, so that would have been quite fun, like to see what they're all about.
But they're going to play Hull City now.
Have you ever seen Millwall fans at away games?
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
That's certainly not something that I'd want to be going to.
I'll be avoiding that area.
Yeah.
Millwall and West Ham.
Millwall are notorious, Chris, for being absolutely ultras and just fighting any fans that go down there.
That sounds like it, man. I'm telling you. I heard Leeds fans used to be like that as well. Once upon a time.
Yeah.
I think 70s.
I guess everybody used to be like that. Liverpool fans, Newcastle fans. I mean, I guess when you have a few pints and you have a criminal record, things combined, it's no good. I heard the mighty win in the 70s was a bit of an ultra, but we shall not speak over the delinquents on the show. He had long hair at the time, man.
Did he?
He was a delinquent. Everybody had long hair at the time, probably. To be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know. It might be just a PR thing, but I just feel like there's a lot of condiments. I mean, I don't foresee. This is for sure. I don't foresee St. James's Park being torn down anytime soon. And I'm talking about in the last probably 10, 50. Like, even if they build a new stadium, why would you spend that kind of money changing the pitch? I mean, those are intricate changes, man. This is not just cosmetic things to get by.
Well, I wonder what's going to happen to all that stuff after we get the new training ground and stuff. Does it just get turned into houses or something, or does it get moved on to the women's team or another? Because they said the complex that's being built is going to house all of the teams, isn't it? The women's team, the youth, the reserve. Yeah, everything's in that one space. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what the plans will be down the line.
I can guarantee what will happen. I'm from obviously that area. I can guarantee what will happen around Blue Flames is it'll get knocked down and there'll be houses built, because basically over the last few years there used to just be farmers' fields up there, and they've just built house after house after house. So that'll go, and there'll be houses built around that area. That's exactly
you guys mentioned something earlier about like modifications to the listed buildings, and there was a commenter, I forgot his name now, from London, in the chat, that said, it starts with a C. You're a regular commenter, by the way. I just forgot your name, mate.
Chris?
That said something about, surely you can't make that many changes to a listed building, because there might be like a certain amount of things you can do without, I don't know, without permission. You probably need permission overall to just get started on changing anything. But I'm saying, like, you couldn't make that many changes, is what I'm saying. So I still don't know what the purpose of that it was.
There can be parts of buildings listed, and I believe with Leazes Terrace, it's just the facade at the front. So the actual houses inside aren't listed. It's it's sort of the brickwork at the front. So you could potentially take the rest of the building down and keep that in place, and that stays as listed. And then you do something like this, the show with that example earlier in the show. But to be honest, the cost in doing it would just be ridiculous. You'd be better off just building a new stadium.
Which, by the way, Rico put a comment there with the Euro handout money for upgrades. I think something like that I've heard of something like that happening before. So it could be. I don't know. I'm not sure, but maybe.
Chris, just quickly to say one thing I did notice with that video, and I know we don't want to get on to him tonight particularly, but it was the lack of Eddie Howe in it. There was no. He was there once with a hard hat on, but he didn't have any speaking part, and he didn't have any sort of input into the video. So you know, does that tell a little story as well? You going, didn't it? Sorry, guys, but I have to be this guy sometimes. But you know, no. But I think in previous seasons he would have been the one that would have been forefront of a video like that.
Well, yeah,
I don't think he's ever been.
But it felt like it was outside of his remit, this kind of stuff, isn't it?
Well, what the hell is he going to say? I mean, the thing is, what the hell is he going to say?
You're talking about the training ground. You would, the manager could have a big say saying, "Oh, you know, we're going to have a state-of-the-art training ground, or we're going to have a miles better training ground." But he didn't. No, it's just me being.
No. I see people in the chat already. Bogey strikes again. Bogey's a flat earther. OMG. There you go, man. Now you got the game coming at the woodworks now, man. You should have never done that. Now they're coming at you. But no, listen, you may have a point, actually. DXK, to a certain extent, agrees with you. I don't know. I mean, I didn't even think about it, to be fair. But
they'll win the European Cup as well.
Oh, they did?
Oh, really? 3-0? Wow.
3-0, yeah.
Jesus.
They won the Conference League.
No, the Europa League.
The Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I despise with a passion. And listen, I don't pay attention to other clubs, as you know. I care less. But in this particular case, I care more than anything. Like, I despise English clubs that are in our level, that are our immediate rivals, to win anything. It happened last season when Spurs won the Europa League, and you guys tell me, that has nothing to do. It has a lot to do with it, man. Because in the great scheme of things, our Carabao Cup,
we are not good.
I mean, because it's
let's
honestly. No, listen, I don't want to do that. I'm saying in the great scheme of things, when it comes to, okay, we won the Carabao Cup, and then our rivals are winning the Europa League, and what the hell are we doing?
Well, I think, I've kind of had this thought that it would be nice for us to play in the Europa League or something rather than the Champions League. I know the money's great in the Champions League, but we're not going to win that. We're not ready for that. If we were in, even the Conference League is something to win. It's a trophy. We need trophies. We've had, is it something like we've won about 11 or 12 major trophies in the club's history? It's not much.
It is insane to think that Aston Villa, what they have done this season, man. In the Premier League, I don't even know where they're going to finish, or they finished already, but probably third, fourth, or something like that.
No, you can't get
fourth.
They're fourth.
Oh, fourth. There you go. So fourth. Unbelievable. And on top of that, they win the damn Europa League. It's a historic season for them, man.
And what's frustrating for us, really, is when you look at the points totals this season, they're so much lower than last season for those top 3 or 4 places. Like Forest last season had 65 points. They came 7th. This season, I think 7th place is 52 or something, 53, with a game left. So we've had chances. We should be in there, really. But anyway, that's a different story.
No, seriously.
Villa has spent well, haven't they?
No, they haven't.
They haven't
spent any money.
I think they've recruited, though.
Who did they
the recruitment is a different story.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right?
They've done the recruitment really well. Like, they've done the business right.
I don't think they've been great this season either. Not really. Like, not overall, but they've just found ways to win that we haven't, and that's how you do well, isn't it? That's how you're successful. You can't necessarily always play well for 90 minutes, but like Arsenal, if you find a way to win.
Yeah, exactly. If we beat the rivals twice as well, we're here in 6th place. I think
even one more win, we'd be in the mix, wouldn't we, for Europe? It's close.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I had like that stuff like that affects me, man. I'm knackered now. I'm like laying back. But at least Tottenham it's going to the last day with Tottenham, so you never know. That might be a little fun thing to enjoy. Yeah, but I mean, they beat the draw, and look, No, I'm saying the last year they had a title drought. They got rid of it, and now they're a horrible season. We did the same thing. We've had a horrible season, not to that extent, but we've had a bad season.
Yeah.
So but still, man, like that's when I feel like, well, that's when you should capitalize. When your immediate rivals Because they are, man. And I'm not talking about rivalry as in derby. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about immediate rivals that are fighting for the same things you're fighting for every year, which is Tottenham, should be Tottenham, Man United, because they're not winning the league anytime soon. I don't know. Ward Kid is doing his thing over there from Wall's End to the world. But, but we're there. Aston Villa, the same thing. And then
I would
you're
say
telling
Aston
me.
Villa more is our level, isn't it? Aston Villa, Everton, maybe now. Those kind of clubs are the ones we've got to be.
Just does my it boils me piss, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, I wonder if Emery might. There's been rumblings that this might be his last season there, maybe. But I don't know. There's some food for thought. He's done a great job. I mean, now you might say he's done a slightly better job than Eddie, because obviously that Europa League trumps a very good league.
Does. And that's exactly, that's my point. Because it's easy to say, that's an objective way of thinking things, right? Because it's easy to say, for us, the Carabao Cup means the Champions League, so it's irrelevant, man. When you talk about like comparing managers, comparing seasons, comparing teams, comparing where we're at in the pecking order, you have to admit that, things are more important than others. So, and I don't even think, I agree with you 100%. Like, I don't even think Villa has done anything. Like, their playing style is not something amazing that people that will remember that. But the fact is, they're going to remember. Probably not their first European title, but they haven't won many.
They won the Champions League, the European Cup. It was called in '82.
But they haven't won. This is like historic for them.
Yeah, it's a second.
In modern era, yeah.
Yeah, modern era.
So
now they can start talking about that other one. It's a great trophy for them, really. But they had their name on it, didn't they, for a while? It felt like it.
No, it just I don't know, man. You guys continue to show. I'm knackered for it.
I was just thinking, have they played the same amount of games as Newcastle?
No, I don't think
so.
No, we had those domestic cup runs.
They haven't stayed as alive as we have in every competition as we have, But
yeah, well, I mean, so Roy's logic, Roy Caviani's logic was
he should be coming soon.
We should have thrown one of these games. I can't remember which one he said, but we should have just thrown. I think it was the second leg against Man City. He said it was pretty much dead. Just put the youth team out for that one, and then focus on other things. I don't know about that. Like, we don't want to throw games, but maybe we put our eggs in too many baskets. Like, to try and challenge on 4 fronts, it's a lot for a club like Newcastle.
I don't think we should have thrown games, but I do think we should have played a youth in the Carabao Cup.
We should have rotated.
Yeah, so we should have used squad players and young players in that competition, and it's not showing disrespect to it. What it's doing is it's giving our players a rest who knew were going to play a lot of games this season, and it's also sort of giving the youngsters a chance. That's the thing that I think we missed a trick on this season, and I think that's maybe what Eddie needs to learn a little bit going into the future, is that you can
bring on some of the young academy.
Yeah, and you can't just go into every game thinking, I've got to play my best team.
Am I right in thinking, by the way, that Bournemouth or Brighton will now definitely get Champions League?
Well, you got to count.
It goes down a place,
59,
doesn't it? So,
Bournemouth.
One of those.
Well, it's only 1 week left, so yeah. I mean,
yes,
really,
it goes down to 6th place, doesn't it? Now 6th place. So Bournemouth probably are going to be in the Champions League.
No, I think it only goes down to 5th place now because.
Are you sure? Because Villa won it and they're in 5th.
Oh, Villa won, didn't they? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
we'll go down one more.
Bournemouth or Brighton in the Champions League. That's mad.
So basically, you're gonna tell me, and that's why, like, come on, man. I'm serious. Like, I'm getting really upset now, because you got Brentford possibly can go to Conference League. Are you kidding me?
9th place, I think now.
Yeah, Brentford can go to. Well, they will, because now you're gonna, like you said.
Wait, is it 9th or 8th? I can't.
Well, right now it would be 8th, but since Villa won, they have to extend it to another.
But I think that's. Yeah, I think the fact that we're going to see one of these teams like Bournemouth in the Champions League is going to be.
And by the way,
that's transformative for them.
Say Arsenal. Let me tell you something.
For Newcastle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's devastating. It's devastating, because let's just do a hypothetical that could have happened. If Arsenal or City could have won the Champions League, right now, the Mackems would have been going to Conference League over us. If that had happened, of course. And I'm telling you, that would that would have been. I'm glad it ain't happening, but that would have just been just devastating, man. Like, yeah. I don't know. You'd ruin my night. Whoever brought that news up, man. Because
Well, comparison.
There's but
comparison
there's
is
a
a
good
thief of
chance
blood.
Sunderland get to Europe and we don't.
Oh god,
Well,
that
we
would
can't.
kicking the nut. I mean,
Yeah, but look how they would glory like that. Come up back up, being in League One for so long, going to the Championship, then coming back up in the first season, doing the double and getting
but
European.
wouldn't that knacker them a little bit because then they'd have the 85% turnover thing and
yeah, there would be, but you got to understand though that their expectations are not ours. So, like for them, this is like Champions League. You know, even if the next season they finish mid-table again, don't make it to Europe, their job is done as long as they stay in the Premier League. But us, you know, that's not going to be enough. I mean, look, it's
well, there'll
insane,
be
man.
players for sure as well as Gordon who won't be enough for them. So I'm a bit worried about Tonali. I think he might be a guy who might think this is enough. You know, he's 26, Tonali, 26. That seems to be an age where players transition to wanting to be. This is either the big move or they're going to hang around. So,
Is there any reason, any way? I mean, I haven't entertained this because you know, it's really a mute point. But Win has been saying this that we can finish in Europe. Is there any possible chance that we can finish in Europe right now? Thank you to the super chat. Was that Chris? If Tina had wheels, she'd be in a bike. Or is it? Or I hope it's not. That's not a bad thing. I don't know. I just read something.
It's not a great thing, but we get what was us coming from.
Okay. Yeah. Cheers.
We can only get up to 9th place, can't we? That's the maximum. And that's if we win by.
Well, 9th is Europe right now.
Is it Europe? I'm confused.
Conference League. Well, is the first? No, hold on. Is the first 4 spots Champions League usually? And then
4 or 5.
Oh, 5. So there you. Well, if Villa just won, is it 5? I think 5 for English teams. Isn't it?
5, isn't it? And then
I think it might be with teams that play each other, we can't possibly get the points. So if two teams play each other, one of them has to get the points, so they have to get more points. So that'll move them up the league naturally. So I think that's the problem. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So it's only going to be 8th, then, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Well, right now.
Do you think with this Europe thing though, with the money, there might be a team one day it comes to your UEFA Conference League and they turn around and go, we don't want it. We're not.
Yeah.
We've qualified, but we won't go in.
Because the money's so small, isn't it?
The money's so small, and the fact that you're going to get fined if you overspend. I think there might be a time where a team turns around and says, "Look, we've qualified."
Can they do that though? Can you just say we're not going
to?
Can you refuse?
I don't think they can force it. Well, Man U did it once with the FA Cup, didn't they?
They did, yeah, but that was because of the club championship, wasn't it, or something?
I don't think they can force you to play in a competition. I think you qualify, but if you say I'm not going to play, I don't think there's anything they can do about it.
But I think,
well, I think there is though. I mean,
I think there would be. I think there'll be like something like a fine, maybe. But
yeah, I don't think
you're refusing, aren't you? No.
Well, I don't know. I think if we accidentally qualify for the Conference League, then that might be more damaging to us than not qualifying for it. I don't think any player is going to stay because of the Conference League. Put it that way.
No. Well, no, it's not going to do. But it's not going to do anything.
It's a trophy
for Newcastle.
It's a trophy.
Exactly, and that would be a massive morale boost.
Yeah.
Especially for us. I mean, imagine what we've done with the Carabao Cup. Imagine for a European title, that would be amazing. So according to Germany, which is telling me they hate to be the bearer of bad news for the Toon Army, but looking at the Premier League standings right now, the European dream is effectively dead for this season. So, we got 52 points, something like that. No, that we can only get 52 points.
I'm sure Mighty Win will find a way.
We can get 52 points if we win, if we beat Fulham, which it is in the realm of possibilities.
You get deducted points.
But I mean, it's just unless somebody's spying, and then we can figure out how to get points off of somebody else.
That.
But
do you think they will do? Do you think the Premier League will do point deduction though? Because didn't they do West Ham where they played Carlos Tevez and who's that other player they played? Oh, they were Yeah, they didn't get points deducted. They just got a fine. That was it, didn't they?
Yeah, that was very controversial because they only stayed up by 1 point, didn't they?
Exactly. But then if you look at the Championship, they're like, I feel they're more like stricter, aren't they, than the Premier League? More.
It's not the same as points deducted, but I remember when Middlesbrough didn't play the game because they didn't have enough players, and they refused to let them play the game again. They said
no, they did. They deducted 3 points. They
deducted 3 points basically from them, didn't they? So,
and they went down. They went down by 1.
Yeah, they went down. So it's not unprecedented for it to happen.
They actually got to 2 cup finals and lost them both that season. Then they got relegated and lost 2 cup finals.
They did.
Jordy Daniels says Villa will fall off. No offense, they don't have the financial power. Well, they didn't have the financial power this season either. They didn't spend anything, man. You know, I mean, they wanted to buy Osula, for God's sake. Osula, they wanted to buy. Remember that?
What you've got to look now, though, is as well in the European champion. They're a European Championship side. You know,
I don't know how much money.
European Cup. They don't make a lot of money from it, but it's a prestige.
They're going to get a little money for that, though. How much money are they going to get? They're going to get a little money for that. It's not like...
It should be 5 million or something silly, isn't it?
I think it's maybe 10, 15 million. It's not nothing.
It's not that much.
No, it's not.
Hey, man. Hey, amortize. Hey, amortize, baby.
But the thing
amortization.
You're right. You're right that it's going to be an attractive proposition to see a team that's just won a European trophy in the Champions League again. How many years has that they've been in the top 6 in a row? 4 years, 5 years. So it's like that's a good, and Emery's the manager.
He's a good manager as well, isn't he?
Up now, yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of teams looking at them going.
Heavily disrespected by some of our fan base, by the way, including you, DXK. I remember what back
Emery. I never.
Yeah, well, when it came to comparing the one who shall not be named, you were very vociferous and saying Aston Villa is this, Mr.
No, I felt like they were on a par.
Well, remember when the good Dr. Doom used to always bring up Villa, the Villa topic when they were, I guess, doing great in the Premier League, which not guessing they did. You would, you would kind of rubbish it.
Well, no, I just felt like we should stop comparing ourselves to that. Like I felt like we had to focus on our own dinner rather than looking at someone else's. So, and that's how I felt.
He would even be called a Villa fan. Go follow Villa.
I didn't say that.
He would be.
Someone else said that.
Probably didn't say that exactly, but I'm just saying. People were a bit mean to Dr. Doom, who is Dr. Doom, but still.
But it was a bit obsessive. It was every. But anyway,
it was a bit excessive. Yeah. But was I there with the super chat? Says Boki, your knowledge is unfounded. You're immense. You're immense, man. There you go.
You're a superstar, Was. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Was. I appreciate you very much indeed, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Please don't forget you can smash that like button. You can subscribe. You can become a member, and of course, super chat like Was there. Help the channel out. We certainly need it. Help us. Right. So there was an article today from the Telegraph that went probably not the best time to upload today with the Stadium Talk, mate. You should have done that tomorrow or something. But he posted an article. I thought it was pretty good. Of course, giving them the DX, the Mighty Win, the Jamie Smith, and the Kev, dagger to the heart of Woltemade. But
come on, I'm a fan of Woltemade. I love the guy.
But he said the title was on the Telegraph that written by Luke Edwards, Northern football writer. Newcastle keep faith with £64 million Woltemade despite first season struggles. Despite, you see that little elbow right into the chin of despite his horrible season that he's had, which is insane to say the least, because I think he's had a good season regardless of the situation that's happened. The team was
adapting. I think he'll be.
The team has been good.
He'll be much better next season. I really do think that he's had his moments definitely, but I think next season we'll see a different.
Yeah, but you need to keep him in one position and one position only, not moving.
I like him number 10 with Osula, though. I think that's quite a nice combination. They've both got different qualities.
Playing as that cam or attacking midfielder, he seemed to fit in really well in that position on against Forest.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a talented footballer. I mean, maybe they'll just stick with the 3 strikers we've got now. Who knows? They might think it's not a priority compared to other positions, like perhaps the right wing. But then they've just signed a Langer, so it's a tough one.
I'm sure the plan ahead with transfer windows, and I pretty much I think you could guarantee they would not expect to have to spend this money on this window on a striker. You know, they spend or not a lot of money. If they sell Sula, then potentially a little bit on a youngster, there's absolutely no chance they were coming into this window thinking we might have to go out and buy a big name striker because they'd spent so much last season on the 2 of them. So, you know, I think they'll plan ahead with transfer windows, and I don't think this window ever was going to be for a striker. That's,
But I think when you look at Asula, I just think I know we can make a big profit on him, but I just feel like there's enough there for me now to say this kid he's got enough that I would want to see more of him.
I think he's our best option at the moment.
Yeah,
him and Baltimore up front together are our best options.
That's the way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's a purple patch. Some people say, it's a purple patch, get rid of him now because his fee will be higher. But he's always had that little bit of magic about him. There's something about the guy. And we've seen a few brilliant goals this season from him. So I would like to see more. And just and even if he plays on the right wing, I still think he would be a better option at this point than Langer or Murphy. So I'll keep him for that, if nothing else.
Yeah. That's what I said in the last night show. I said it would be nice to see him on the right wing. He's pace and he's tricky. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to get from him, you know what I mean? None of us know. He likes his step overs, doesn't he? And you know, but no, I think
really good player.
He is, yeah. He's still young as well, though, isn't he? So he's still got a lot to learn.
Just quickly do the super chat there from ads. Emery miles ahead of Eddie. Bokey always spot on. Couldn't agree with you on 2 points more, mate. Couldn't agree with you more.
I know where you read that one. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. This is going to be a very. We say this about every window, but this feels like a very important window. I think when you look back, and you don't want to look back too much. I don't. But that 2 summer windows ago was the one I think really hurt us. The one where we lost Minte and Anderson. Because it meant we had to get another right winger, so we end up with Elanga, expensive. We got Vlachodimos. We lost these 2 brilliant young players. So it was a real knock-on effect of maybe the next window was affected, and it wasn't our proudest moment.
There's no excuses this season, though, is there? Because everything's in place. We've got the structure in place. We've got the Wilson in place. You know, there's absolutely no excuse this window. It should be the most exciting window and possibly the most profitable window in regards to getting the right players in that we've ever had.
Let's hope we get our business done early as well, though. Like they keep saying, we're going to do early business this time, not leave it till the end. So let's see what happens.
We've got to learn from the clubs like Bournemouth, Brighton, those sorts of clubs. There are players out there, you know. You just got to, and now with the right people in the right places, hopefully. And I think Eddie should have a minimal amount of input on the transfers. And just get the right people to do their jobs, and then hopefully we're back on track.
So it looks like from this article here that, he says that Woltemade has struggled for minutes and goals and all that stuff. Now, since he came from Stuttgart, however, the Telegraph understands that staff has been impressed with the Germany international work in training and are seeing more evidence he can thrive in a new deeper role playing behind a main striker. They're just finding this out right now, by the way. It's kind of but anyway, Woltemade scored his first goal, of course, against Woltemade scored his first goal since December in the last Sunday's game against West Ham. I mean, listen, I don't necessarily have an issue with him playing as a 10. Whatever, man. However you want to put him on the starting lineup is really irrelevant. It's on paper anyway. What I see is a guy that's a forward, that's a striker, that's an attacking player. So as long as Newcastle put him in a position to thrive as an attacker, that should be it. He shouldn't be getting replaced for no apparent reason because the team doesn't perform, so he gets replaced, or stuff like that. He shouldn't be scapegoated, is what I'm saying. When others don't get the same treatment, that's it. Give him time and put him in a position to thrive. Don't put him as an 8. Even Trippier said the other day that he's been doing a lot of the dirty work, playing as an 8, playing lower and lower for the team, and he hasn't complained or anything like that. But it just explains that even one of his teammates don't believe that that's really his position. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we're all fans, aren't we? We like, I thought that was a really good performance from him and Asula as a partnership. It was really nice to see them linking up the way they did. And I thought actually some of the football we played, I know that in the second half we did go off the boil and West Ham were fighting and everything. But in that first half, I thought some of the football we played was really dynamic, and Ramsey was involved in Barnes. And it was nice to see. We haven't sort of played like that in a while. Like, it was very fluid, and it was enjoyable. It was fun to watch that first half. I thought it was there was some really good play, and it was nice, one touch stuff and a couple of nice goals.
I agree. It was like the same as well, though. Getting the ball to his feet, holding it up as well. Yeah, he got knocked off a few times, but he still had that hunger to get it back. He didn't give up. But no, I agree. Dropping him down and doing the dirty work, going to centre midfielder, that's going to knock his confidence down, isn't it? And not wanting but he hasn't come out and said, I don't want to do it. He's came on, he's doing a job. And I feel when he played against West Ham, I feel like he did a really good part. He showed that he has got quality. It just needs to be trusted more.
Exactly. I think that he played really well off. I just believe that he played really well with another striker that understands him. That's technical enough to understand him. They play back and forth. And again, he scored a goal. No matter what the team shit said before kickoff, his goal was there where a center forward would be. So, in my opinion, they'll be rotating.
The most frustrating part is with Sula is that we've all said all season he needs people around him. He needs people to be around him in the team. And when he hasn't got that, he does look like a duck out of water. Sorry, a fish out of water, is it? That's the same?
Yeah.
But, he does look like that. A duck out of water.
Kind of what?
I'm getting quackers. But no, he does look like a fish out of water. But when you get the people around him, you've seen in the last few games how well we've done and how well he's played. So why the hell's it took 35, 40 games, as I said the other night, for to get to this point? We all know what type of player he is. He needs people around him to help. So,
I think we tried it with
frustrating.
We tried it for about 4 games, didn't we, with Vissa and Woltemade early in the season, but Vissa was so out of touch and not match fit that it kind of didn't work. I don't think they scored any goals between them. So I guess maybe then it was like, no, this isn't working. And they never really thought about Asula at that time. He might have been injured, I can't remember. But yeah, where it leaves Vissa as well, I don't know. Vissa's now well back in the pack. Like, he's definitely number 3, isn't he, now in the striker pecking order? So where does that leave this guy? He's going to go to the World Cup with Congo. So we'll see if he has a brilliant World Cup. That might wake him up a bit.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, with Nick, the German play around him, don't they? The German team is around him. But no, it worked, didn't it, for the first 5-6 games where he was scoring goals, and then Gordon had to come back in, so you dropped more of a different, and it just went downhill from then. But no, I think now they should be trusting him after what he's done. Even that lob where he did that ball over to Whistle, what a lob!
That was a good goal. Yeah, brilliant goal.
Just quickly do the super chat, lads. Midlife crisis, top show, top host. Keep up the good work, Chris.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Midlife crisis. I hope you're not having a midlife crisis, but thank you very much for that super chat. Yeah, I mean, we try to do our best over here. Just having a good conversation. Right now, it's pretty calm. When the Mighty Win is not here, it's pretty calm, man. So, the common denominator, DX, I know he's he's your buddy, but, sorry about that, by the way. It's certainly an icon or a con eye or something like that. One of the two, especially with them dodgy shirts. And when he's on the quiz, which is interesting, by the way. He's been on so many quiz shows. It's insane. I only knew about 2 of them. But anyway,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
know.
be bothered with all this YouTube politics, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't believe he won. What did he win? Oh, I can't remember the name, but I mean, he's won quite a few. He was on Mastermind apparently in like the 70s. But we can't dig out that old footage just somewhere.
He was on that one where you had to pick people, didn't you? 3, and he said it takes money off. I can't remember what that
Sure.
show is now.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. What a man.
yeah, he's on the quiz night right now. By the way, losing all his money away, all his retirement. That's why he has to. That's why he has to live off frozen spaghetti, last year's curry, all frozen up in his fridge. It's insane.
Can you imagine if he doesn't agree with one of the answers? The quizmaster gives.
Oh my God.
No! There's no chance. That's rubbish. That's shit.
Remember when we
No
used to
chance.
do
Get his facts up.
remember when we used to do the quiz show? But we haven't done it with Sean yet. Actually, we haven't done it in a long time. The quiz show. DX, I don't know, man. He knows. It's the thing. He knows too many answers, so it's a bit dodgy. It's a bit dodgy, man. But we used to have the quiz night, have a good time, man, on a Friday night. So we might need to bring it back, but have a good time. I got some tough questions though, man. Tough questions. But do you know anything about? Well, anything about the past of Newcastle United, Sean? I mean, would you pass? Would you do well on a quiz night about the two?
Well, I'll do all right, but not everything. You know what I mean? Depends how far you're going to go back.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, I'd be interested, man. Oh, Roy Caviani is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
He's suited up.
Right, there you go.
Reed.
Gotta feel so underdressed.
He came from a meeting or from some private massage. But there you go. There you go. Yeah. Roy's in the house, ladies and gents. So what's up, Roy? How you doing?
Yeah, doing, mate. Yeah, we just won an award as the best sporting club in the country.
Well
done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, right.
Everything's good except football. We're shit. We're 7th, but we've won basketball, handball, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, football's shit, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nothing changes.
It's not as bad as Newcastle, though. But
yeah. 4 places higher.
Where's the happy clapper?
He's on the quiz now. There's no happy clappers actually on this show. Well, DX is a bit, he's leaning that way, but
yeah,
he's not all the way. Not all the way, but he's leaning that way.
He's a softie, man. No, he's not a happy clapper. He's a softie.
Yeah,
he's a softie.
No, I'm a soft, not in every part, man. No, I'm a soft and out.
Get him out, man. Don't never feel sorry for those millionaires, man. Never feel sorry for them.
Well, to be fair, if he gets sacked, he'll get so much money. It's not even funny.
Yeah, sack me tomorrow. Give me £9 million and sack me tomorrow.
I think we missed out on every manager that we were wanting, though, haven't we? Like Mourinho and Alonso, they've all gone now. So we just stick with Ali.
I'll drift. Yeah. I'll get in a Mustang. I'll just do 25 donuts in front of St. James's Park if you sack me, and I'll be like, yeah, give me £9 million and I'm gone, man.
Shout out to my beloved wife Betty in the chat. She's cooking downstairs. She's doing a great. I'm about to devour whatever she's got going on down there, man. I mean, that didn't sound right, did it? But yeah.
Get ready, Betsy.
Love it.
But anyways, Roy, we're about to get a new stadium, man. Well, not really though. I don't know. Everything seems like we're about to just stay at St. James's Park. I mean, you're buying the listed buildings. You're renovating the stadium. So I don't know, man.
Well, I thought we're still not allowed to demolish that bit.
We can't
because it's older than it's listed, isn't it?
Not as old as Win, but they're pretty. Even Win is listed at this point in time.
Yeah,
but I mean, they're pretty old.
He's listed as a happy clapper.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He knew you were gonna. He knew you were gonna come on the show, so he didn't want to come on. He didn't want to face the music.
Away. Yeah, but we won this week.
Yeah, we did. But,
too late.
So what do you think? Because you skipped Monday's show for no reason, no apparent. You didn't have a doctor's note to miss. But I mean, what do you think about that? We won, so happy days.
Wow, it was expected, really.
Come on, man.
I mean, we beat the 3 relegated teams basically at home. So what's
The
great
3
about
relegated
that?
teams.
Yeah, because we beat Wolves, we beat Burnley, and we beat West Ham. I'll say West Ham 90% down. So we beat them.
Pretty much.
Job done. But we didn't beat them
Where's
away.
Fulham
So,
at, actually?
Fulham are just above us, I think.
No, they're below us.
Just
13. We're
13.
we're all 49, so pretty much it's going to be a battle,
Yeah.
I guess.
We can still get to Europe, by the way.
Can we?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So what
Shout out,
we need is
Wazza.
we need Liverpool to finish above Villa. So Liverpool must beat Liverpool to beat Brentford.
Right.
And then we need City to beat Villa. So Liverpool will go above Villa. And then we need Chelsea and the Mackems, Chelsea to win or draw. And then we win and then we'll finish 9th.
Wait, what about Brentford? Don't we need...
No, because if Brentford lose and we win.
Oh, yeah, no, because their goal is only a little bit better, isn't it?
Yeah. So...
Blimey, that's a lot of...
We need. It's 4 games that we need. So, come on. Look, I mean, we've been shit all season. And we're not going to sit and do all this. You'll think about all those games that we went 1-0 up. And we couldn't
we would have been...
those teams.
Dude, we
would have been,
third,
honestly,
fourth.
Fourth or third or something.
Yes,
but we...
on that.
Happened once, didn't it? We came second.
But we can always blame Isaac. We can always blame PSR. We can blame the cartel. Yeah, we can blame the negative fans like me and Bulky and Jefferson and the Doctor to do. Yeah,
they call me negative. Why don't you include me, man?
Yeah, it's never Eddie's fault being 1-0 up and then losing the game in the second half. Never Eddie's fault, because we are the happy clappers or anti-happy clappers, and we are the negative ones who want doom and gloom for this club. Yeah, we were right, Bulky, weren't we? We were right.
At least we've seen it coming from a very long time ago.
I think, like I would say, the ones who are right are the ones who were saying maybe at the beginning of this season or the end of last season. But when there's people going, I'm saying it 3 years ago.
No. I said it. I said it in the summer, 2020.
But that's fair enough.
It was a little debate.
No.
It was a little debate.
Roy,
remember?
Me and you have been at this for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Yes or no? We've been at this for a long time. The same talking points over and over again. And I sit here with Kevin Monday. Well, that's why you should have been there, man. Monday and Jamie. Jamie actually had to take a step back when I told him about the Milan game, because I asked him, look, if you tell me right now that this isn't thing where the in-game management has never been an issue but this season, then I'll shut up. And they couldn't. Well, Kevin couldn't think of one, but Jamie, when I told him about the Milan game, the first one I can think of, then he was like, all right, you got me on that one. But you know what I mean? So, come on, man. This has been ongoing for a long time, man. It's not new.
The Milan game, that was on a Wednesday night. On Sunday, we played Spurs. And on Thursday, the one before. So we played... On Thursday, we played Everton. And we had loads of injuries. And he was playing Dan Burn, our Maldini, on the left. And he wasn't rotating the team, even though we had Lewis Hall and loads of other players not getting games. So we had Everton on a Thursday. We had Spurs away. So Everton and Spurs were both away. And then we had Milan. Normally, a coach with a brain will drop one of those games. What did he do? First game, full team. We got beat 3-0 against Everton. We go on Sunday, 4-1. Same 11. And then we get to Milan, 6 days in total between the first and the third game. No rest, same 11. They were dead by the 60th minute. And we lost.
Well,
did he learn? 2.5 years later.
We had a lot of injuries, didn't we? I can't remember if we was it only Lewis Hall that was available.
There was the thing is, you rotate.
It was Dummett, wasn't it? Paul Dummett and Matt
Ads scored the super chat. Thank you, mate. It says, Roy, I got your back like Bulky, Jefferson, and D-Man. There you go.
Should I give you a small example of what coaches...
No, actually, I got a question, though. I got a question for you. Because he's going to stay. So it's irrelevant.
He is.
it's irrelevant to keep going on about it. You guys support it, I guess, right? I mean, you
We're going to support the team. Yeah, we can't turn our back
but
on the team.
but we know that it's going to be a very uphill battle from the get go for him, because he's going to carry the baggage of this season. It's not going to be easy, you know.
Yeah, but he's not going to be under pressure when there's about 40,000 going Eddie Howe's Black and White Army every game.
Well, but then that just shows that, I mean, because some people, again, this discussion was on Monday again, that you know, that the fans support him, that the majority of fans support him, and they were singing, you know, Eddie Howe's Black and White Army, like you're mentioning. So maybe the vast majority of supporters are behind him. So maybe, I don't know.
I just say it was the most lackluster Eddie Howe's Black and White Army I've ever heard in St James's Park.
Yeah,
yeah, but coming from you, people will say, well,
I was there, and you know, it was very, very lackluster in regards to it. You know, I've heard that ring out round the stadium, and to be fair, you know, I'm a Keegan fan, so I've heard it ring out for Keegan, and sometimes Eddie Howe had the same level as that. This time it was sort of a force, sort of a, you know, he's walking around, and there were certain fans. It certainly wasn't ringing out round the stadium, and to be honest, it's the first time I think under the new ownership that I've seen this stadium empty so quickly on the last game of the season. Normally, everybody stays to clap the fans around the pitch. The players around the pitch. That didn't happen. Fans were a lot of fans were leaving.
It would be interesting to know, because clearly he's going to stay. So the Eddie Howe, Eddie in thing is it is relevant, because everybody's pretty much made their mind on what they think on this. But it's interesting to see what fans' patient meter is at this moment in time. It can't be the only quick reaction, because that's easy as well to do when you're an emotional fan. If you are, it's the same thing when you're in a stadium. If you're singing Eddie Howe's Black and White Army, you might be emotional as well. Like, okay, this the end of the season, it's over. So I don't know if it can be judged on one side or the other like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't even think it's. I mean, how do the fans judge it? I don't know. I guess it's going to be our own results, but I'm telling you, if it's the first game and we are winning 1-0 and we lose 2-1, the first game of the season next season.
What's been the notorious thing under Eddie Howe has been that we've been really slow starters. We've been really slow starters. The seasons, if that happens next year, he's just going to be under so much pressure, and there's going to be so much negativity around that. I worry where the club goes under that. He's got, if he is staying, which everybody is, but we all agree he is, then he's got to make a brilliant start to next season. Otherwise, he's just under pressure from the first few games like that.
But how many games do you give him? If you go, that's
probably half a dozen.
Well, none for me, but I mean.
But I think that the St. James's Park loyals will be extremely patient. But they also haven't been. So, you know, but is that it? Is that what? How about the board? How about the board? You know, they shouldn't wait for fans to turn on the manager to make a decision or think about.
But
so how long do they wait?
They're quite process driven board though, aren't they? They take a long time to do anything. So to dismiss a manager, I think with Bruce it took a little while, didn't it? Because everyone was like getting rid of him straight away, and I think that apparently what they said to Amanda and Mirdad was, well, we don't have anyone to come in, so why would we get rid of him? There's nobody here to replace him. Graham Jones obviously took it for 3 games, didn't he, after a while? But no, what I'd be interested in is, like, obviously there's a tipping point for fans, but is there a point where some of the real, say that I'm 60 Eddie out, 40 Eddie in, Roy's more like 95 Eddie out, 5 Eddie in.
I'm 100.
Okay. Is there a point where you could win you back though and get you back? Like, say we won the first 10 games next season, would you be like, oh, okay, maybe he's the man?
Win all the 10?
Yeah, the first 10. Would you be like, okay, I'm back.
He's not going to do it, but yeah. If he wins the first 10, I'll be like, you know what, Eddie, I'm an idiot, and you were right. But it's not going to happen.
Well, I think it's much more than that, though.
Imagine first game we lose, second game away to Sunderland. Imagine we get beat.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be rough. Yeah.
Whereas actually, by the way, which it is kind of, I guess it would be the Chronicle post this. who was it? Gibson posted this the 3rd of May. Wayne sent me this from the 3rd of May, man. It's like almost the end of the month, man. What's the matter with him? But it was an article. It says Eddie Howe's resignation letter was showed. Basically, he put his resignation letter, and they told him, you know, they didn't accept it. Basically, they said, you know, you can do it. Well, that's what the article came from. But he says, but Wynn says, he texted me privately, of course. You laughed at me last week when I told you one of the guys at the quiz. How am I not going to laugh? They're all drunkards over there at the quiz night show. Anyway, they're impaired people. So, I mean, how can I not laugh at that? That's Wynn's sources, by the way, if you didn't know. A guy at the quiz told me Eddie had offered to resign, and the board persuaded him to stay on. As I said, Jimmy, whoever Jimmy is, I don't know who that is, Jimmy was adamant that he had seen it somewhere. So wherever Jimmy Bullock, somewhere around the Toon, that's Wynn's source, told him that this happened. It wouldn't surprise me, by the way.
But this is in the article from Gibbo.
Well, the article says Eddie Howe's resignation letter, and quote, showed he isn't afraid to gamble when Newcastle needed it the most.
So he actually he's confirming there was.
So I guess he made some decisions, some ruthless decisions. This would have went viral, by the way, from May 8th, but I guess or May 3rd.
I couldn't have been in the Chronicle. Surely enough, we would have picked up on that as a channel.
I'm seeing the screenshot here, but I guess the Chronicle wasn't getting many views then. But
no. But I mean, you think like all the YouTubers.
I haven't read the article, so
somewhere
it's probably his resignation letter from Bournemouth or something.
Yeah. Thing is, the meeting happened after the Arsenal game, and then
but it wouldn't surprise me.
The results went positive. We won 2 and drew 1. So that
is an interesting
ass kicked in the meeting. That's why we
interesting comment from Shamrock. That it's a pertinent question. I remember not too long ago, Arsenal fans wanted Arteta out, and now he's won the Premier League. They spent over $1 billion. But there you go. So, Roy,
if a manager offers his resignation in a letter, is he committed to the club?
Exactly.
Well, that's a good question. But if he said it, if you guys think I'm knackered, then I'm putting it up. Because I don't want you guys to feel forced to keep me on if you don't believe in me, just to pay me or something like that. It could be. I'm just playing devil's advocate. And by the way, you astutely avoided my question. Arteta, they wanted him sacked, and he stayed on, and it turned out it seemed
but it's like
the
Liverpool,
right decision.
Aren't they? Don't Liverpool want on a slot sacked? Them fans are shouting for it as well, aren't they?
That's true.
And he won the league last season.
Yeah, that's very much true. So...
But you see, I think our board as well, didn't we get a lot of stick? Like how we treat Brucey and that. Is the board trying to be very nicey, don't want the stigma? I don't know.
This article's a load of nonsense, by the way. I'm reading it.
Yeah, well, I think it's
okay. It says his team selection could have been seen as a resignation letter about one of the games.
I could not believe that, man.
Yeah. It said, had it gone pear-shaped, it said, how's...
Hey, let me tell you something. I read Gibbo on there, and I thought, there's no way he'll fall for this. Come on, Gibbo, man. You've been doing this too long, man. You can't... That's dodgy, that.
I'll send you in the private chat.
No, I believe you. I believe you. That's dodgy, man. Send it on the forum, by the way.
Wynn needs to get his arse on. He had to defend that. Like, if he's putting things like that...
That proves that he didn't even read the article for him to start bad-mouthing me, talking about Jimmy was adamant that he had seen it somewhere. Get out of here, man. But Wynn's point is that Eddie Howe's going to be, don't worry, he'll tell us when he can't do it, can't fix it no more. And my argument is, why should we wait for that? That makes no sense. That's why we have directors, people in charge to make that decision if the manager can't do it anymore. So,
sorry, Wynn. Chris, if you were getting paid £6 million a year, £9 million if you do better at your job, would you ever think of resigning?
No. That's what I have never here. I will never say anybody should resign to anything. Let alone the manager. Why? He's entitled to the money because he signed it. They gave it to him, so he's entitled to it. Why would he have to lose money just because he's he has done enough or not good enough or whatever. He
He
shouldn't
has
be.
resigned, but he has resigned from his first 2 jobs, hasn't he? Burnley and Bournemouth. He resigned from both jobs. They didn't sack him. So I think,
Well, yeah, I think
got
Bournemouth
history.
was after he got relegated or before.
the day after or something.
By the way, guys are answering the question that Roy and Boki didn't want to answer to. So there's a difference, though. They finish in Champions League comfortably every season, but they also spend like they want to win the league. We can't expect to win the league, though. I mean, there's a difference to that, you know. But I guess it would be the comparison would be that we have won a trophy, that we are finished, that we have finished in Europe, and this season we didn't. I guess that would be the comparison to Arteta. That keep him on, and we'll do something. You know, he'll figure it
I
out.
tell you what, I will answer the question about Arteta. If Eddie Howe wins the Premier League next season, I'll say that I want him to stay in.
Well, there you go.
I'll take the effort.
I'll get a tattoo this time of him on my arse.
Well, you did offer that.
I did offer,
before.
but I was so sure uncomfortable with it. We're not going to make it, and thank God.
Do it for top 5, Roy. Do it for top 5.
But
Yeah,
Roy, I wanted to ask you as well
Yeah.
about the Aston Villa winning the Europa League, man.
Elite manager. And guess what? They actually qualified last week. for
You're
the
out your
Champions
mind,
League.
man.
So they qualified Champions League twice, or through 2. They had 2 gateways to the Champions League. Proper manager. And then he could have made it last year if it wasn't for that red card Martinez got. And then Man U beat them because Man U didn't even win in a game for like a couple of months before that.
Exactly.
So-
Until War Kid got there.
Yeah, but Mighty Win said, no, it's a 38-game thing. Well, it's a 38-game now win.
Well,
And look
I
where
would
they
like
are.
us to be in Europa. That would be a competition I'd love us to have a little go.
I wouldn't even mind. Well, we can still make 9th in Conference League if all the results.
I think that might damage us more than not qualifying.
No, because that tournament's really easy up until the quarterfinal, and he doesn't even need to play Bruno. Half of the
The
proper
wages
players in.
thing. Do you get point? Well, they only give you a fine, don't they, if you go over the wages? So maybe that's worth having a little fine.
You can do that, but and then you get money. You get money from tickets. You get other stuff. So the TV
okay,
money
yeah.
and the competition
I'm
money
back
is
on
not
the
high.
Europe bandwagon then. In that case,
But yeah, you charge £40 a ticket or something, and just fill it up, and you get a couple of million
is that a
pounds a
good
game at
season
home.
if we get 9th and we get Conference League? Is that
It's
acceptable?
not good.
No, it's not good. No.
But
It's
you're in
acceptable.
Europe next
Not
season.
good. It's not
I don't think
acceptable.
it's acceptable
It's
either.
not good. But at least you're in Europe next season. Use the kids. Shahar and all those kids that he doesn't
Yeah.
use, even when we're 6-1 up.
Yeah, that
playing
was a big.
Borat FC.
That was a
Yeah.
big sticking point, wasn't it? That one. That was
There's
the game.
loads of games like that.
I
Loads.
think that even if it was when we went 2-0 up at the beginning of the game, that was 8-1. You could have gone, right, okay, I know it's early, but let's get Tonali and did it off.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it. Come on, we're playing West Ham, and then he brought Dan Burn on.
That I understand a
come
little
on.
bit more because we were then on the back foot and he probably thought, well, this could slip, and then that's embarrassing.
What, a 3-1? I didn't think I went 5 at the back, a 3-1. Like,
We were losing.
I think it was. Do you guys hear me? Oh, I
Yeah,
wasn't hearing
Did
myself.
Did you
Thank
see what
Wilson, for the
Villa
super
did when they
chat.
played Spurs?
Hold on, let me
on
do
the-
the super chat. Chris,
Oh, yeah.
take a pay cut. Wouldn't get out of bed, man. About what? What do you mean? I gotta make videos for you, man. Like at 5 in the morning. What are you talking about?
Chris wouldn't pay his servants to
thank
get
you,
him
mate.
out of bed for £6 million a year. You know what that's...
There you go.
But
There you go.
did-
You
did
can't.
you
You can't pay winning enough to get out of bed.
But I've got an example of
Can't pay
elite.
enough to keep
Shall I say my example of elite? 3-4 weeks ago, Villa played Forest away in the semi-final, Europa League, and Forest won 1-0. Villa's following game in the league was Spurs, and he rested half of the team, most of the team, I think. Got beat 2-1 or 2-0, can't remember. And rested his team for the next semi-final because he thought, I've got 2 ways of getting to the Champions League here. So my easiest route is the Europa League, not the league. So he rested his team, got beat in the league, no problem. Full squad again against Forest at home, wins the game 4-0. He's in the final. And then he went back to the league again, started winning, and now he made it both ways anyway. Elite. But us,
There you go,
6-1
baby.
up.
He's a very good manager.
City,
There's no
City
doubt about
away, City away in League Cup. We got beat at home 2-0. Now you tell
Yeah.
me, even Real Madrid. Let's say City go to Real Madrid or Barcelona or PSG and win 2-0 away. Do you think even those teams will come to City and beat them and knock them out in City? No way. So Eddie goes, yeah, I'm full team here, mate.
We had to have a go though, I think, in that one. But
There's no goal. No,
I
I haven't
agree
got
with
a
you that
chance.
we did have a go, didn't we, for the first half hour? And we went too gung ho, and we were like 4-0 down by that point. So I think if we put the kids out in that one, I'm less convinced by that than I am by the 6-1. I think the 6-1, I can see the logic of going, put four kids in the team, teenagers. Yeah, put 4 under 12s in the team. Just see how they do. And yeah, it makes more sense when you're 6-1 up and you're at home. I get that, but
yeah, but he doesn't do it. Though. He doesn't.
Doesn't
He's
seem
never
well
done it,
learned,
and
does
he's
he?
never going
that's
to do it.
rotate enough. I agree with you there. It's a bit
doesn't.
like jobs for the boys.
He's got 5 or 6 players that he trusts, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
He will not let go of those. They're always there. They're fit. They're there.
Well,
And
one's
funny
going,
enough,
isn't
yeah. Well, yeah. Thank God. You know what it is? I feel like Gordon's giving him the biggest finger ever.
he? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one
I
of his
agree.
favourites. One of his favourites.
Hmm.
If you remember October, November, and Barnes was nominated for Premier League Player of the Month. And then Gordon comes back from suspension and his little man flu he had or whatever. And then comes straight in back in the team, Barnes on the bench, gone. And then all the shit results started happening again. Just you can't make it up. Woltemade as well, man, up front. And then suddenly he's not in the team. And then he's in midfield.
Exactly.
God knows what he was playing on the weekend.
Super chat there before we go with the comments. Roy man, Amre didn't want us to get over it. Hoofy he
did reject
us. I'm not saying, but we've had arguments with people saying Eddie's better than Emery.
Better than well, I've heard.
Yeah, we've had that. Yeah, we've had that before. That's what I'm not saying we're going to have him. He's not going to come. But he's a better.
If he goes now, he'll go to a real top club now, Real Madrid. Well, not Real Madrid.
Yeah, but he would get
he was. You know, he actually took PSG to the final of Champions League and got beat 4-0. And then they sacked him. And then if you speak to them now, the PSG management, they'll tell you, well, that's one of the biggest cock-ups they've ever done.
Well, they've got Enrique now. They're doing all right. But yeah, you're right.
Now they are, but after,
Fantastic,
yeah.
man.
Right on. Let's go with the comments. Quinny, they spied on Eddie as well, and they didn't stop laughing. We read that one.
Yeah, about the hoof it in training.
Rico, but tapping up players isn't illegal. Well, that's interesting. Niall, the fan said they need to know everything. Still Bad Dad says the claim we're talking about Southampton. This whole thing, by the way, is they knocked out because of the cheating. They knew how corners. Free kicks were going to be taken. Knowledge is power. Fact. Okay, well, I guess so. It's earmarked for housing. It's only 300 meters from my house. And I'm not sure what the conversation was, but Brian Payne, Gray One listed are bomb proof. Makes basically you can't change anything, according to him. I don't know. But anyway, he also told me to get lost, so I shall do that in just about a few minutes. No worries. Just the Jordy says Boki has Howe derangement syndrome.
Howie. Who's still
really good
Howe
tonight.
now?
I never really called him out when I could have.
You did a little cheeky one when what was it about? He wasn't part of the commercial, the PR thing. Gary Simister, I'm sorry, but Villa couldn't have had an easier game. Gromitone, how many times has Emery won the Europa Cup?
5, I think.
Many. So he's pretty much
5, I think, yeah.
He's pretty much king in that. Jordy Dan, Villa will fall off next season. They're peaked. Also here, Folaus says Villa fired Emery's nominated DOF. Got a proper professional there. We're done the opposite. We've done the opposite. That's interesting. I forgot about that actually. And Emery, by the way, is the name. We keep saying Emery like Emre Can from German international. But Emery, that must have been a ego strike for him, to be honest, to get rid of somebody that he appointed. Took on the phrase, don't Villa have to finish in 5th only for that to happen? Yeah. I guess the extra Europa spot.
They need to lose to City and Liverpool to beat Brentford, and then they go.
There you go. Brian Penny, why is it mad? We have been draws simples. Can't moan or complain. Also says that sums up how draws we have been. Get real, people. Jordy Dan there says Villa will fall off. No offense. They don't have the financial power to continue. Magpies says 6th place can only be a Champions League place if Aston Villa finishes 5th in the Premier League.
Could happen.
Queenie wins on the lash. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Adds Channel goes to the next level when Bokin. Oh yeah, we read that when Boki Roy are just our own. Just need Jefferson and D-Man. That'll all be together now. Proper sense.
You need a bit of balance.
You need balance. You need balance.
You need the rebellions. You need the.
But then it's just you're all agreeing with each other. You need someone to.
Exactly.
We need balance. Try being on the early show half the time.
Jefferson and D-Man, they can always come on, when they got time. The door's always open, man. The door's always open. Gary Simister.
This season might win.
I am very happy Eddie is staying to prove doubters wrong. After all, he's officially the best Newcastle manager in the Premier League. Went a little too far then, man. But there you go.
That's right.
The toxicity will come, and he has himself to blame, says Niall. I guess we're talking about next season. What happens then if things go wrong early enough? Anyways, so we had a great show. Lovely. Roy showed up late, but it'll be all right. It would be so friggin' depressing having that lot on together.
That's a good thing.
Hey, man, put a lot on. Sean there. It would be so friggin' depressing having that lot on together. It's because they're very, very adamant about. But you guys want to keep on about Eddie Howe, man?
I wonder what the topic.
That can't be the conversation every show, man. I'm telling you, I agree with you. He's been draws this season. And I agree with you. It's not the first time. It's been happening. He's not getting better. But I guess he's going to stay, man. We need to talk about the board. We need to talk about who's keeping him on. It's interesting.
Test them till after the summer. September.
The mighty win. Oh, look at that. And they crawl out of his rock.
Look at that.
Oh, come on, man.
Happy clapper. You
tough guy.
Win.
It's a tough guy from the chat.
If you guys check the prediction league, if we went with wins predictions, we would have won the Champions League and the league. Because we got us to win every game all season, 3-1.
That's a telling. No, but that is facts right there. That's a telling stat that all the cold bedwetters are top of that league, and the happy clappers are relegated this season. On the prediction, though, that's insane, man. But that is telling, because that's a legitimate correlation to the Premier League season, or not choice Premier League every game. But he says, "Get back under your natural habitat, Roy." 90s mag. No. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Roy is a founding member of NUFC Talk TV, baby. You can never speak ill of him. He's always going to come back to his natural home right here, baby, right here. Don't you worry about that. Him and Sandro.
Wins an official bedwetter after last night because I asked him outright.
I'm Eddie Howe.
He says, I'm Eddie Howe.
But he how many times has he moved the goalpost? Wasn't it 3 points from Champions League and he wanted Eddie out? And then it was 4 points, 5 points. What is it? 25 points now away.
He's going to wait for the Man City.
He kept extending the league. He kept extending.
He moved the goalpost so fast. In Kazakhstan now, Matt, the goalpost. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Just say I love Eddie so much, and I'm not.
No matter what he does, there you go. Exactly. Just be a man and say it, man.
Say I love Eddie. He's got nice butt cheeks.
No. There you go. Say, when's a house sexual? Says the guys out there. You go, baby.
It is.
There you
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll see you later, folks. Take care. See you tomorrow. Highway the lad.